Hello, Internet.
Hey folks, how's it going? Actually, I should probably start with something a little less combat-y on the Sirenscape. But yeah, we are live. What's up, Danny? Thank you everyone who has swung into chat, Taryn, everybody. I appreciate you. We're gonna put on something a little more chill though.
Forgot about Sirenscape. I'm opening it now.
Here we go. We got some chill ass music going. There's Rob. Always on time. What is up, folks? So we are here today. Welcome to our first stream of our D&D 50 D&D campaign, a homebrew adventure called The Might of the Imperium that I've been working on for some time. My name is Patrick Adair. I go by Rusty Tonics online, and I'll be the Dungeon Master for the foreseeable future of this campaign, provided my players don't murder me. So this takes place in my homebrew world of Fellerin, which I've been developing for a number of years in interest of making it into a cartoon. Didn't end up happening that way, but that's fine. So a little bit of background on the area. We'll be playing in an area called the Magus Imperium. The Magus Imperium, unlike its neighbors, is a land ruled entirely by mages and built entirely on the backs of slaves. So as the early days of Solaire, in the year 3291, the sun rises once again on the great desert of the Ember Steppe, the Incendus mountain range that marks its northern border. Find ourselves once again within the dominion of the Magus Imperium, land where masters of the arcane hold all positions of political power and every soldier wields magic with as much ease as their swords. At its head, ruling with ultimate power from their tower in Pillarstone, sits the Council of Minds, a council made up from the single most powerful mage from each school of magic, excluding necromancy. Since its foundation in the early half of the Second Era, the Imperium has relied on a workforce made up entirely of slaves, which they gained during their endless conquests and attempts to expand their power. Indeed, countless millions have lived and died under the whips of their Imperium masters, and flesh is the most commonly traded commodity on the market. From the pleasure houses to the markets and households, all the way to the grand arena, slavery pervades nearly every aspect of Imperium society. It is at this point I'd like to take a moment to introduce our adventuring party for this campaign and allow themselves to describe both their characters and themselves briefly, and get insight into the characters you'll be inhabiting for the most of this story. So starting at the top, we have our good old friend Stanislav. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, my name's Chris. I'm actually the only one out of this group that doesn't stream, but I join in regularly with boys for gaming and then D&D now. The character that I'm playing is a shining golden tiefling named Stanislav the Shiny, if you will. I acquired that name through a brief jaunt on a strange island. Long story short, we helped rescue a bunch of goblins. They called me the Shiny. It's pretty obvious. And Stanislav it literally is as I described him, like shiny golden horns, like bright glowing golden eyes. He is mostly wrapped up now because they're in the desert. But he also wields a big, fancy looking sword, and he rides an equally shiny golden camel that he has affectionately named Baythir for reasons which will become obvious later.
Oh, sorry. I'm assuming it's me coming down the line.
Coming
now.
down the line to Mike. Go ahead and
Yeah.
introduce your character and yourself a little bit.
Hi, I go by the alias of Lost Axioms. I stream occasionally as well. I don't know if I'm doing personal introduction on that end. I am currently playing Aten is the first name, Vow is the last name. Our dungeon master sometimes just refers to me as Aten Vow, all one name. That's also acceptable. I am what you could effectively refer to as a pragmatic stoic in terms of the character. Aten is a pragmatic stoic who values survival and the most effective options at any given time over pretty much everything else. Wears basically completely black medium armor and is a human. There was one last distinguishing feature that I was going to throw in, but I don't remember what it was. I have a crossbow and a longbow, and that's pretty much it. I do not use any close range weaponry, basically at all. And I suppose last but not least, this is my second character of the campaign, and that'll become important due to a reason referenced about 5 seconds ago. And with that, I'm going to pass it on to my favorite player in this campaign,
Ooh.
Torin.
Ouchie. Go ahead, Rob.
Shots fired there.
Yeah, a little
Hello,
bit.
my name,
A little bit.
my name is Robert. I am
Love you too,
playing
buddy.
Torin Sourfang, the half-orc Fey Wanderer Ranger. I just kind of started streaming a little here and there. I go by RP Thrice or an Awkward Salmon as my PlayStation handle.
Love it.
Yeah, I'm playing. My half-orc is just recently dabbled in this weird black goo that has allowed him to see the Feywild, and because of that, his skin, hair, nails, and eyes have all changed this weird shade of green, and neither one of us know why.
Nope. That's just how it is, right? All right, and
Yeah.
then
Oh, yeah. I'm also a paladin, but
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't deprive my powers from a god. It's just because of how
you're just
beautifully
awesome.
sexy and amazing at everything I do.
Very
Thanks.
beautiful. Very, very beautiful indeed. So I'm gonna.
Perhaps
zoom
it's
in.
all the gods granting me a bit of power because they just notice me, you know?
Yeah, who
I
knows?
don't.
That might be it.
Sure. Yeah.
We'll go
I
with
believe
that.
it.
We'll go with that for sure. A little so I can actually read my shit. All right. So, without further ado, before we begin, quick warning: we do deal with some sensitive subject matter and some topics that people may find discomforting, including slavery, torture, death, cannibalism. I wasn't expecting that one, but it came up. Game one.
If you're acting like we cannibalize
Game-
on the regular.
Game one
your corpse
cannibalism.
isn't
You're on
here,
a
so we
tropical
won't
island
kill
surrounded by fish. You're gonna eat a dead
You
guy.
did it to survive, dude.
I've discussed with players what the particular areas of discomfort may be, but know that they may not match up with the viewers. So if at any point you feel like you gotta dip out, feel free. We won't hold that against you. We hope you enjoy the adventure, and without any further ado, let us let the game begin.
Yeah, so I'd like to cannibalize the gelatinous cube as my action.
You can go fuck yourself.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna stop
Oh,
being a
God.
problematic person now, starting in.
Oh, I don't mind. Be problematic as much as you want. I'm just pulling up my lists here. There we go. We're good. All right. So, picking up where we left off, following a rather traumatic character death, both Stanislav and Torin returned to the small trading post of Emberwatch, where they were hoping to collect reward for a job well done. Though having lost someone along the way, it was a little more somber than perhaps they intended. But they weren't there long before they crossed paths with Auten, who was just in town looking for some talent, we'll say. Someone who might act well as a mercenary on some kind of team. But while you were there, Auten was contacted, or I guess a young man stumbled to his feet, asking for help and adventurers to aid him in getting back to the city of Lysia, in the interest of returning a rare and very sought-after artifact, or at least a imprinting on a piece of paper with some charcoal of an artifact that might unlock some more insight into the race of people, or should I say elves, who lived there beforehand. So, we ventured back into the Emberstep, heading north towards the village, or the city of Lysia, and decided to take the main road. On your way, you stopped at a watering hole. Only a few seconds after arriving, noticing that the previous denizens of, or the previous users of this spot had seemingly been slaughtered in their entirety, and what few remains were left, heads, arms, was all you found. It appears as if the bodies had been dragged into a nearby cavern that seemed to have erupted out onto the road as something dug its way out. Choosing to take your time, go down for a sip of water, scout things out a little bit. Made your way down as a group, with one of you hanging back. I believe it was Auten who hung back with?
Yep. Yeah, I
hung
did.
back by the cart. However, unfortunately, while there, you found that particularly your camel and your new traveling companion were not the most stealthy of individuals and seemed to draw the attention of whatever it was living in this cave, as a number of small insectoid-looking monstrosities burst from the ground beneath your feet, dragging your client into the depths below. Choosing to waste no time whatsoever in staging a rescue attempt, as this is your payday, instead of using the entrance, you all followed through the small tunnel that had been dug by this creature, crawling on your hands and knees through this small space and emerging into the caverns below, right here where this orange square is or orange circle that I've drawn on the map. Made your way out and immediately engaged into a fight with these creatures known as Kruthiks, a very nasty monstrosity that has seemingly taken up residence in this area. However, it would appear that they weren't alone inside their hive. And a large gelatinous cube that had been guarding the entranceway, not so much guarding, more just left there to devour whatever might wander into this path unknowingly.
I believe you described it as a vacuum cleaner.
It's essentially a Kruthik vacuum cleaner, yeah. They're smart enough to know that if you have something dangerous at the entrance of your thing that can't get to you, you're more safe.
The gelatinous
More or
Roomba.
less. The gelatinous Roomba, yes. The gelatinous Roomba. However, managed to avoid any serious injury and smote the creature where it stood. However, the combat was not over. Still needing to extract your client and fight off the creatures that are now aggressively attacking you. A combat ensued. Many of you were wounded. A number of you were almost lost. And we pick up there. HP down. Severely wounded. And seemingly having attracted the attention of the Hive Lord. And I believe we ended last session with just a loud screeching and like a crackling noise as its mandibles kind of clamped together. And you notice both the Kruthiks kind of back up a little more defensively and kind of assume a more defensive posture. However, at that point, I believe Ziggy had his turn at the end of the last combat to move to there, if memory serves. I'm going to go with that. Which means,
Sounds right.
at the current spot in the initiative order, Ottenvow, what would you like to do?
Oh, action. I'm using movement actions, bonus actions. I'm moving 90 feet. Yeah, I've done all I can. I'm getting the hell out of Dodge.
Are you trying? Okay, yeah, go
No,
ahead.
go ahead.
Are you trying to get Ziggy to come with you, or are you just bolting yourself?
I mean, I'm just. I will just yell, out, 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 and so it's 20 feet to get to the hole that we originally dug in.
Yep.
Fall prone, and I'm gonna crawl. That gives me 70 feet, so 45. I'm 45ing it up that fucking hole.
Okay, go ahead and just move your guy up there a little bit.
I don't know.
The path kind of just weaved through here. I'll let you make that up. I trust you.
There we go. I'll put myself there.
Yeah, that's about
I'm
good,
out.
because you're crawling on your hands and knees. It's slow going. There is an exit, like right here, but sure. You're just crawling, just doing your
I
little
don't know
crawling
that,
thing.
and I don't
That's
know what's
true.
up there. It's
All right.
I know what's up. Yeah.
All right, so we're back at the top of initiative order now. So I'm going to reorder this because I had the Kruthik Hive Lord roll his initiative.
Boy.
So starting at the top,
That's not obvious.
this little red dude, not seeing many other alternatives. If I remember correctly, has a burrowing speed of 20 feet. Is going to make a break for this wall using 10 feet of its movement, and burrow another 10 using its full ability to move that turn. So it's currently, Stanislav, you just see this creature run at the wall and begin hacking through and just tunneling into this kind of sandstone. It's not the hardest rock you've ever seen, but it's like kind of a more of a granular substance. Anyway, that will be his
Super.
turn. So he passes out of sight. And then this guy is not actually supposed to be visible to you guys, but that's fine. So you're gonna roleplay
Okay,
that
I
you
don't know
didn't
what
see
you're
me do this. Exactly. He's gonna use his whole movement to burrow. Oh god. 40 feet. And he's just underground doing his thing right now. Ignore him.
Ignore who?
Exactly. All right, Stanislav, you're up, my friend. It is your turn.
You
You're
don't want to sell me
currently,
death sticks.
currently facing down one of these things. It looks pretty severely wounded. It's not doing super hot. What would you like to do?
I would like to attempt to get the fuck out, except first, I'm going to use all 25 points of... No, I'm going to use 20 points of lay on hands.
Okay.
Myself.
Heal yourself. That sounds good. That's a reasonable thing to do. For sure. Also, there's an interactive overlay on the stream for anyone who's interested. Just hover over that red B when your mouse is over it, and you can pull up all the HP of our players currently.
It's true.
Yep.
You can.
Yep, you can. D&D Beyond has a
That's really
built-in extension.
That's really cool.
Okay,
How many points you heal?
now, 20.
20?
So I have
Sounds
5
good.
left. Now, I have Shield Faith still up. I'm concentrating on that. But I also have my Channel Divinity up as well. My Peerless Athlete.
Yep.
So what I would like to do.
This is gonna be
is-
interesting. Anytime a statement starts with "I have my Peerless Athlete," something funny is gonna
so
happen.
Ziggy's
Let's go.
right next to me, right?
Yep. Yeah. And there's a dead Kruthik just kind of splayed out on the ground there.
I want to grab Ziggy and start running.
He's not going to resist.
Yeah, cool.
He's not going to resist at all.
I don't think he can.
Yeah. So carrying
It's
someone
like
is
picking up feather.
Yeah, carrying someone is technically half movement.
But I can double what I can carry
Yeah.
with my Peerless
Yeah.
Athlete.
Yeah, and I wasn't sure
So-
how that worked because like I think that has to do with carry weight, not carrying. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. 'Cause,
Ha-
but
like-
he's also not resisting. So you know what? Roll me an athletics check at advantage, please.
Well, I can carry 600 pounds right now.
Oh yeah, but it's more the fact you're also carrying someone trying to run through these tunnels. You have to climb up and down a bunch of fucking
Yeah.
cliffs and shit.
If it's an athletics check, it's at advantage anyways because of Peerless Athlete.
That's why I said advantage.
Did nothing happen? There we go. Dude, that's not good.
Sure.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll take the 13, I guess.
13 and a natural 1 with a 9. Okay.
Yep.
So it's not
Fancy.
smooth. You grab him and you try to jump off this like 10-foot cliff and into the little pit below. Start running, and he's kind of just like hitting all the debris. There's like skeletons and bones. He's like his feet are just bouncing over it. So he slows you down a little bit. So I'm going to 13 is good enough. You get I'll say like yeah, I'll say half
I'm gonna
movement.
use just my movement. I don't think I can bonus
Yeah, I'll-
action dash.
No, it would have been a bonus action to pick him up.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
Only because he didn't resist. So I'd say you could get to about the door with that if you're running. Plus, I assume you're jumping off the cliff because you're extra like that. So that'll be your turn, yes?
Oh yeah.
Also, you will take an attack of opportunity from the
Oh, for
little
sure.
guy in front of you.
Yeah.
He's not all that beefy though. So it's going to make a stab attack at you. Yoink. That's
Big ol'
12.
miss.
12 to yeah, that's so doesn't even put a dent in your armor. It just kind of lashes out with one of its like kind of pincer like fucking man arms or whatever, and just bounces off
Kick
your
it to the
armor as
side.
you turn your back. Yeah, doesn't even doesn't connect for a second.
Where? How
Uh,
far do I get?
What's your total movement?
40, right? Or no? Wait. Did I cast Long Strider ever?
No.
I have 2 missing first.
Yeah, so I'd say you could probably get to
Was-
like
What did I cast? What
About
was the
there.
other one?
carrying the dude because you had to go down the cliff too.
Okay.
I'll just stick you over there, and then you have Ziggy in your arms.
Yep.
Oh, Ziggy.
In front of me, hopefully.
Yeah. Oh, so you just
Yeah, I'm like, well, no, I like bear hug grabbed him and started
okay.
running
Okay. Cool.
because
Uh,
I feel like I'm a lot bigger than him.
So that guy got his little attack against you. So that is your turn. Yes.
If I tripped, it would have hurt him.
I accidentally skipped through that guy's turn. Anyway, so the little one, or I guess not the little one, the adult who's not looking that great, is going to start pulling back because like he's on death's door, and they do still feel fear more or less. So he's gonna try to limp back and try to find some shelter somewhere over here to rest up. He's not useful. He's gonna start tunneling, just try to get to safety. That'll be his turn. Torin, you're up.
All right. I guess after seeing Otten run like Naruto run it like a madman,
Yeah, I'm going to
might as well
actually.
jump off this thing. He's gonna put 2 and 2 together, get the hell out of Dodge.
Okay, so go ahead and move your
Oh.
token as far as you want. If you want to dash, you can.
Yeah, I'm gonna run. I guess I get to the entrance of that little hole, and I'm just gonna dash like right into it.
Okay, with your dash, you're at half movement, so move 15 feet into the little hole. Ziggy is up next. He's kind of fine with what's happening right now.
I mean, okay, this is
Just stroking his hair. It's going to be okay. We're going to get the fuck out of here.
But he is.
To be clear, this will not work. You should not rule in my favor of this as a DM. However, there are rules for if you're riding a mount.
Nope. I appreciate the attempt, but
But
nope.
he is not secured on my shoulders.
No,
like,
he does not
He
have a
hasn't-
saddle.
now
There's
you
no
mean we didn't-
there's no
We didn't put
stirrups.
that gnome thing on.
We don't
there.
know how good their relationship is. We don't know if they're mounting each other. Anyway, so seeing that he has a greater chance of moving quickly with you carrying him than he does of himself, he's just going to reach out and say, "Move swiftly, my friend," and put his hand on your chest and cast Long Strider for you. So you now currently have Long Strider, and that's his turn. He's just gonna hang out in your arms. He trusts you,
It's okay.
and
It's
you
okay.
move faster than he does. Otten, you're up.
Okay, how far? I'm 35. I said 45, but I did the math again. I'm 35 feet up this tunnel. How long is this tunnel?
Once you get to the edge of the map, you have another 10 feet to go before you're at the surface or so.
Okay.
So I'll say once you reach the edge, you're safely out, more or less.
So I would be about here.
It more goes like left, like this way. But
Okay, so if I'm here, that
Yep.
would be. Oh, that's 40. So I would actually be here. Okay, so you said it's this plus 10.
yep, give or
Okay,
take.
so
But if you reach the edge, I'll count you as out.
okay, 15. That would be 25. I would need 50 feet of movement. So I only need bonus action to get out. So movement and bonus action dash to
Okay.
get out, and I'd have 10 feet left. I'm gonna run that 10 feet, whistle for Beethier, the camel.
The camel named after your dead character. Yes.
Not
I
my
love it.
ghost.
There's
No,
some
no,
comedy
I-
for you.
Every chance we get.
Can't
Alright, so-
summon my ghost.
I'm deleting you off that.
You
You're
could
still.
you also know that you wait. No, I don't know if you know that he. Never
He
mind.
understands English, but does
Yeah,
he
no, I
only
think you know
understand
that.
you though?
No, he
you-
understands. He
Yeah,
understands.
he
common.
understands common. You
Okay.
actually told us that he would follow our commands, I believe.
Yeah, you did tell him.
And then
Hey!
just action, pull out the crossbow, and I'm just scanning. Like, I am keeping an eye on the hole because if anything comes out of that fucking hole that is not humanoid in nature, there is an arrow going straight through its eyeball.
Okay, sounds good. All right. So Otten, I took you off the map. You're still in the initiative order, so we'll consider that
Beautiful.
next turn.
Yeah.
However that may go. So this little dude is gonna use the rest of his burrow to get that extra. I'm gonna say like 5.5, 10 feet. I'm just gonna count it as 10.
Mm-hmm.
And then with his movement, he still has enough to make it to Stanislav. And he's going to take a full round of multi-attacks with you. Which is
Easy
I'm sure it
bitch.
won't be
just 2 stab attacks. So a 17 does not hit you. I have your AC written down now. 21.
Oh, yeah, 21
believe does
is my
connect.
AC right now.
Okay. Alright, so you take 6 points of piercing damage as it just runs up behind you and tries to jab one of its arm blades. We're going to call it Scyther blades. Hopefully that doesn't get us sued. Into your calf, trying to pin you to the ground, but doesn't find enough purchase to do so. Back. Okay. This dude is angry.
He's angry. He's angry.
All right, I'm gonna switch to this screen now because it's just easier for me that way. There we go. So he has 20 feet of burrow. Would get him to about there, and he's gonna use his other 20 feet to just surface right here. So Stanislav and Ziggy at this moment straight up just see coming bursting out of the side of this cavern, giant, very large, similar like hooked scythe shaped mandibles and stuff coming out of the wall, just as the stone begins to just fall and crumble around it. You see a massive shelled chitinous creature emerge from the wall in front of you, standing larger than any creature you have fought to date. It is not within melee striking range of you, but it is going to go ahead and launch some oh I forgot this. Okay.
I audibly scream as soon as this thing appears.
You hear
I
the
need to
ghost
hear
of
that.
Beethier. You audibly hear the ghost of Beethier in your ear, Stanislav, going, "Do not worry, it is still smaller than your ego."
There you go. You scream so loud it canceled out. The limiter canceled your scream. So he is angry.
There you go.
He's gonna get do I want to do the 2 spike attacks?
No?
Okay.
It's not in range.
You're
it's too
you're
far
you're
away.
gonna regret you said that.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what's worse than that.
So that's 15-foot cone right there. It launches its acid spray. And you have to make a DC 14 save against it. I don't know what roll. Oh, that's the damage. So I need a DC 14 dexterity save from both you and Ziggy, please.
Good thing you healed that 20.
I'm fine.
Where is dex save? Boom. Oh, both make
If
it.
I succeed and I'm carrying him, doesn't he not have to make a save?
No, it is.
I
It
don't
is
think
a
that-
literal
it's not how it
spray of
works.
acid. It
Yeah.
fills a 15-foot cone.
Fair.
So you are going to
Oh,
take.
damn.
Oh, I rolled so terrible on that. Holy crap! Rolled a 3, a 4, a 3, and a 1 on D. Fucking.
D12s?
Yeah, on D12s, I rolled an 11 with 4 dice. Oh, 4d10. I apologize. Anyway,
We
so
succeed on our save,
you
so we take
succeed. So you
half.
take half, and we round up. So everyone takes 6 points of
So-
damage.
So I don't want to. I got two things, and I as a DM I have to. Wasn't the original damage 18?
No. Oh wait, it was.
It rolled 4d10. It was 10, 1, 1, and 6.
Yes, it was actually. That is true. So
Oh,
it's 18.
okay.
Half to 9. I
Um,
don't know why it re-rolled it. Anyway, that's fine. Thank you for the save, Michael. Appreciate
And
that.
the second thing, you're concentrating on Shield of Faith, right?
Yep. Go ahead and
you've
roll me
taken
concept.
damage twice, haven't you?
He
just
only
this once.
no. You took 6 from the little
Oh,
guy
yeah, I
too,
did.
who stabbed you.
Yeah,
So
but
2
you-
concentration checks, please.
So I
I'm s-
succeed from the first one. We'll call that one that one.
Yeah, just barely saved on it.
And then big save on the second one.
Okay, yeah, so you're good.
Yeah,
You managed to maintain your concentration, but now this giant creature has appeared out of the walls behind you. Stanislav, you're up. Your turn, buddy.
I'm out. Movement
Get the fuck
and
out!
action to just fully go.
Okay, you're sprinting. You got long strider. You are going to take 1 attack of opportunity.
Fine. Goodbye, me.
Yeah, there you go. It's an 11. It doesn't hit you, and you would
Kick in face as I run away. With Ziggy,
Oh, it's a D10.
unimpeded.
Oh, weird.
Correct.
Yeah, so either way, he misses you.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been 11 damage. That was the wrong person to roll. Ziggy's with you, yeah. So Ziggy's
Yeah.
moving too. You
we're-
have Peerless Athlete up, so jumping up like a 8-foot cliff is not really.
I can jump
Yeah.
16 feet
You can jump 16 feet in the
up
fucking
right
air.
now.
It's not really a problem.
So it actually has a bit of an arc to it, so I don't lose any speed.
Yeah, pretty much. You make it to about
Gra-
there, and that's
Yep.
that's
Gravity
where
just
you
kind
get
of stops working for a second. We're not 100% sure what
Yeah.
just happened.
pretty much. So that's as far as you managed to get that time. Torin, you don't see this happening, but you hear just the crumbling of rock in a massive creature dragging it through the sediment, and then you hear Stanislav let out a very unbecoming scream, especially for
very
him, especially for Stanislav. That's frightening. So you just hear this massive sound behind you. What would you like to do?
The tunnel that I'm in, can I see anything behind me?
No, because the way the tunnel comes out is like out here, facing like towards where this little red guy is. So you would have been able to look back and see just a spray of green slime, like an acidic looking liquid, just spurt out of this, out the side of your vision, but you do not see that creature. Oh, the fucking with my party, it's great.
How far back would I have to double back to see out the
10 feet.
hole?
5,
10 feet?
5, 10. So at 10 feet, you'd be poking your hole out, but you're at half movement. So that would use up 20 feet of your movement just to crawl back that far.
I guess against Torin's better judgment, she is just going to keep pressing forward and assume that Stanislav has got this.
Okay. So,
As a player, I am so relieved right now. You have no idea.
I mean, you assume it won't follow you out. That's a
So I-
mighty big assumption there. No.
yeah, I guess I'll move and then I'll dash again.
Okay, so with the dash, you get to the edge of the map.
Okay.
Because it's, yeah, you get what, 30 feet of movement? Or 35, based on you?
30 feet.
At this point, Ziggy, seeing that creature, is no longer going to rely on you to carry him. He's just going to, like, wrench himself from your grasp and sprint out.
He doesn't have to wrench. I let him go.
Yeah, and he just sprints out the cave. That is his turn. He got deleted from initiative order. That's a bummer. Well, shit.
Ziggy stretch.
Whatever. Ziggy's out anyway. I'll put him back in later. So, Auden, you're up.
Has Beethier responded, or the other camel actually? Have either of them responded to the whistle?
This turnaround would be their turn in initiative order.
Okay.
So yeah, they would have started moving towards you.
Okay.
Roll me an animal handling check, for like a post animal handling check that I should have probably done last turn, just to see how quickly it like senses the.
Oh, ignore the second one. That's
It's an
me
8.
not understanding how D&D Beyond works.
That's fair. So it hears you, it doesn't really get the tone of
God damn it.
urgency, but it starts moving towards you and is slowly pulling the cart. It moves about 20 feet in its turn, and it was about 40 feet away from the thing. It's moving towards you. The other camel kind of picks up in kind too, because it knows to travel as part of the group.
How far away are they at current from me?
1 second, actually. You gotta pull out the other map.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Torin, you would be about here, or Otten, you'd be about there. Torin is probably around here somewhere. Stanislav is still inside, and Ziggy is fucking long gone. So,
So if you were intending on letting us see this, it's not coming up.
No, this is just for me. That's my bad.
Okay.
You don't get to see your own player. No, sorry.
Oh.
Just gotta find Ziggy. Ziggy's good. Ziggy makes it to about like this dead dude. And then yeah, I need to drag the little who's it? There you go. So you'd be about there with your turn. Let's say with the movement you had coming out of the hole. Out there.
Yep.
And your camel started here and is about here. So I am going to find a camel. Camel.
Better be golden.
Okay, you know what, man? Camel. There you go.
Okay.
Just stop being a dick. Oh, it's a premium asset.
Should have named it Kamala Anderson.
Oh, this is an undead camel at work. Kamala Anderson. You can name that, then name the other one that. Alright.
Sure.
So your camel,
Camilla.
based on your
Camilla.
cry. I'm not going to put both camels, but he was over here chilling, and now he's over here pulling the cart. So he's getting closer to you. He's very close now. Like, you can make it to him on this turn if you want to. What would you like to do?
Yeah, this thing still moves faster than I do at a full sprint, so I have no. I'm gonna mount the one not beef here.
Okay, he'd be the one in the back.
Okay, so
one cart length behind that camel.
So like here, this area here. Okay, perfect. Yeah,
Right about there, yeah.
gonna mount this guy.
Is that Benny? Benny the camel?
Yeah, Benny.
I will mount Benny the camel. Bonus action movement if I have to.
Okay. Yeah, no, mounting the camel's fine. Like, he's
Okay.
attached to a cart too, isn't he?
Ye-
Or did only one of them
yes,
have a cart?
Should be. I think Beethier was the riding camel and
Okay.
and Benny was the cart.
Yeah, Benny's the cart
Um,
camel. So yeah, you managed
I'm
to pull
go-
yourself onto Benny, no sweat.
Yeah, I'm gonna yell.
Full name, Eggs Benny.
I'm just gonna yell to Beethier. um, if anyone comes out of that hole, get him on your back. Get the hell out.
Alright, I'm putting the camels. Since that one's a mount, it's going to count your initiative order. Bathier has his own because
Yeah.
he's intelligent.
Would you like me to roll for Bathier?
Bathier is smart enough. He's a magic camel. He understands commands. He'll be fine at this point.
But like his initiative. You don't want me to roll for initiative?
I just rolled an initiative. It's a 9.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I can actually roll his. I have a stat sheet for him.
You have a stat sheet for Bathier?
Yeah.
It's fine. 9 will do.
Okay.
How do you have it? I deleted it.
Ha 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 ha. Anyway, so we're going to pop back inside again.
Grow up. I
Because
also rolled a 9 for his initiative.
so this little dude's gonna go, and he's at this point like, you know what? We're gonna solve this the old-fashioned way. Okay, he is going to pursue. He's gonna just climb into that hole, and without having to burrow, I do believe that's a 40-foot movement speed, which is more than enough to make it to Torin. And Torin, he's gonna go ahead and launch an attack on you. That might not have been 40 feet. 1 sec. Oh, not quite. Okay. It's not quite at you yet. It will just kind of hang back here. But Torin, as you look back over your shoulder, you see one of these creatures just skittering up the path behind you. And that will be...
Oh my.
It can see you, because it's a mostly straight tunnel. Yeah, it's going to go ahead and launch a spike at you. 12 does not hit. Neither
Negative.
does 7. So as you're kind of crawling, this thing, you see 2 spikes just dig into the rock on either side of you as it misses its shot. That will be fucking his turn. All right, the big guy. He's angry. He's big and mad, and he saw you run, so he's going to.
We both have 19 initiative, yeah?
Yes, technically.
What's his dex?
+3.
Oh, same.
Yeah, so he goes first because that's how he just came up in the order.
He had that. Had the surprise on me, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
So he can move to there with 20 feet, and he has 40, which means he can make it to you, I believe.
Oh,
Yes,
fuck!
he can. So just kind of like scurrying. He's not even like really touching the ground. He's essentially scurrying on the walls at this
Are
point.
you saying he has 60 feet of movement in total?
He has 40.
Okay.
Yeah, so he went
I thought
20 and then 20 to get to here.
Okay. For some reason, my brain heard 20 and 40 as two different numbers. You're good.
Oh,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
no. He is going to see if his acid spray recharges, first of all. Why did that not roll over here? Okay, it doesn't. He rolled a 4. It didn't go through to roll 20, but that's fine. The Kruthik Hive Lord is going to make a multi-attack of stabs against you. 24.
Ooh.
That hits.
You take 5 points of piercing damage because I can't roll d10s to save my life. He's going
Ow.
to take another one.
To save our
24.
lives.
Another 24. And you take 10 more points of piercing damage as it just rears up behind you and jams both of its blades down into your back. It's not holding you in place, but it stabbed and pulled them out fast enough that you are now bleeding quite profusely from those wounds, my friend.
Mhm.
It's your turn.
Okay,
Oh.
let me.
2 concentration checks, please.
Right. I have 6 health.
What could possibly go wrong?
So I fail on the first one.
Yep. So your Shield of Faith drops.
Yep.
You no longer have your bonus.
Shit!
Looking
okay,
rough. What do you want to do?
I definitely want to action disengage.
Totally fair.
And I definitely want to run the fuck out of the cave.
It has a 10-foot range, but you disengage anyway, so it does not matter. And you
off the scene.
bolt out the cage.
40 feet.
That. And you will appear in the next map when we go there. We're going to do Torin's turn first.
Okay. And then as a bonus action, I'm going to recast Shield of Faith
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
on myself.
Torin, you're up. You're right at the edge. This thing is behind you, shooting barbs at you now. What are you going to do?
So did Beethier understand what I told it?
It can't respond to you,
Okay.
unfortunately.
Well, I guess it's not Beethier's turn anyway, so never mind.
Yeah,
It
but
can only telepathically communicate with me.
Yeah. But so essentially you would give it a command and then Chris would hear, okay, in his head. And you told it to run if something comes out, right? If I remember correctly.
I basically told it to pick up whoever came out and then
bolt.
run.
Okay, Torin, you're up.
I am going to cast Hunter's Mark on the red guy.
Hell yeah, man, you cast that Hunter's Mark. I'm going to put a little skelly on him. There, I like that one. That looks like a Hunter's Mark to me.
By the way, Mike, just so you know, he might not actually leave without me because he's loyal to me.
That's totally fair.
Yeah.
Atin is operating under the assumption that it'll obey a command because he has to.
Technically.
No, that's fair.
Is it tight enough in here where I can I shoot at him? Or is it too tight to actually get my bow out?
That's tough because it is a longbow, right?
Yeah.
And the cavern's only about 4 or 5 feet wide, so it would be
Can you
possible.
crawl out and then shoot?
You could crawl out and then shoot back. You're only 5 feet from the entrance, or 15
All right,
feet from the entrance. or whatever.
I'll do that. I'll crawl out and then I'll fire. I'll shoot at him.
Absolutely. So go ahead and roll your attacks now while I have you on the map here, and we'll just say, like, as you get out, you just turn and fire 2 arrows back in.
17 for the first one.
I believe that does hit. No, it does not. Armor AC of 18. These are rather chitinous boys. That one does hit, however. And you do. Oh, geez, it's yep. So as it's running at you, looking okay. Its health hasn't been affected too badly to this point, but it has taken a hit or two, especially from the acid splash from its Hive Lord, who hit it as well. You fire 1 arrow and right into the chest, like right in between the chitinous chest plate, and it just slumps to the ground dead, as you seem to have taken off the rest of its HP.
I was gonna talk to it. That's how you shoot. and then I'm gonna move the rest of my movement out of that cave or away from that entrance.
Smart ass. I love it.
How
Okay.
Judge Dredd of you.
A very Judge Dredd of you. I love it. All right. So at that point, we are going to switch maps. Back to the road to Lysia here. Yoink. All right. So here we are. Torin, you have just emerged about here because they kind of dug up in the ground, and you kind of just like look down and like fire an arrow back. Stanislav, you have exited the cave. What was your total movement on that? 40 feet or 30 feet?
40, and I was only 10 feet from the entrance.
Yeah. So you can get to about there total. So 15, 15. Yeah. So you get to about here.
You kind of just say, Basir, get your ass over here.
Okay. Bathir is up, I believe. And Bathir is going to just run straight at you with the cart. Just full speed and hope that you two can hop on it.
Can I use a reaction to hop on him?
Yeah, so I'll allow you both just like to use a reaction to try and grab onto this. Both Torin and Torin if you want to. It's your choice.
I'll
So
do it.
I'd say
I'll grab on.
you're either going to go acrobatics to try and get on there acrobatically and like find a place and not get crunched by the wheels, or you can use your athletics to just straight up pull yourself up onto it. Your choice.
Definitely athletics,
Yep.
because advantage.
Yeah, let me know what you're going to roll and go nuts.
I'm gonna be fancy and roll acrobatics.
You roll those acrobatics, buddy.
You're rolling
20.
real good.
Okay. So the DC wasn't all that high. It's just a moving cart, and it's still not moving that fast. So you do both manage to get on board. Stanislav, I'll say you're kind of in the driver's seat at this point, since you're the one who controls the camel. And Torin, you managed to fling yourself into the onto the back of the camel as well. Because I realized this. Oh no, this one doesn't have the cart, correct? So you're both just like dry lifting onto a camel, like there's nothing attached. It's moving pretty quick, but you both managed to get on. I forgot that Otten's the one with the cart. Anyway, so as he's running past, he'll use his movement, and you both manage to get on. What's the camel's official movement there, Chris?
A
'Cause he was here.
lot. I think it's 50 feet.
Okay. So he can move to there. All right. Go ahead and drop your tokens just next to him wherever you want. Otten, you're up.
I want to, like, it's the heat of battle, so I'm going to make sure that I'm visually confirming where Ziggy is.
Ziggy has just come out. He could not get on the camel because there's already 2 people on that one.
Okay. I'm just going to take the camel I've got, and we're going to move. I'm going to do my best to get this camel to fucking swing by and grab Ziggy.
Okay, I mean, there
And
is a
we're-
cart attached, so I'm going to
Okay.
say it's reduced movement with the cart.
I absolutely am fine with that.
Yeah, so
Uh,
instead of the usual 50 feet a camel can move, I'm going to say it's just 40. It's not going to
Beautiful.
half
Love
speed
it.
it because it does have wheels.
Yep.
So
Camels
40
have a strength of +3.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to move the camel 40 feet to here.
Yep.
It can use its action to dash, but Ziggy isn't close enough to reach yet. So it's up to you if you want to keep it moving and try to have Ziggy run up to it, or if you want to like slow it down enough for him to get on his next turn. Your choice.
I'm gonna hop off, throw him. I'm gonna hop off.
Okay.
Because this is Camel's move. I'm gonna hop off, action and throw Ziggy onto the cart. Like I'm gonna have the camel get closer.
Yeah, because
like, as
okay,
close.
so pull the camel up here, and you're gonna throw Ziggy on. I love it.
I'm gonna throw Ziggy onto the camel or the cart or whatever the fuck I need to throw him on. at
Easy
this
enough.
point.
Quick athletics check for me.
Oh, I'm so good at. Well, okay, I say that, but I'm not bad at them.
You grab
You
him.
say
and
that, but
start trying to lift him onto the thing. But between the sand under your feet and the moving camel, you try to get him up there, and it's struggling. But you do manage to boost him a bit, so on his turn he'll be able to remount and peace. You do still have a little movement yet, if you left, if you wanted to try and like remount the camel behind where he's going to be.
I'm not gonna lie. Like in character, I know that I can probably outrun whatever's coming. Because if I do nothing but run, I can almost keep up with the camel. So I'm more worried about getting my paycheck on the fucking thing.
Okay, well Ziggy at this point is just holding on to the camel. He's not on fully, but he can pull himself on next turn.
Okay, good.
Easy peasy.
That's gonna be it.
Ziggy's there now. All right.
Okay, cool.
Now it's the Hive Lord. He's angry. You guys came into his house. You fucked with his shit, and he has 40 feet of movement, and it's only 15 feet to the door. So, I'm gonna go ahead and just... I can copy paste him. Copy. Paste? Hell yeah. So he doesn't have far. He's just gonna come out right behind you. Axioms. Or, Otten. Just, you see this creature now appear from the cavern behind you.
I'm literally instinctually, I'm just gonna yell, don't stop for me, keep going! Because I don't know what these guys are like, and I have a feeling that might be what they try to do, and like that's not pragmatic. Like I'm telling him to get the fuck out of Dodge.
Okay. At that point, it's gonna take its turn.
Yep.
And attack you twice with its actually it's got to see to recharge the acid breath.
I was
first.
gonna say recharge the acid breath. Yeah.
It does not. It needs a 5 or 6. However, it is going to take 2 stabs right at your back as you're trying to lift this guy. 22.
That misses, unfortunately.
Oh shucks. Okay, so you take 6 points of piercing damage from that miss.
Okay, I'm not. That's not bad actually. I'm okay. I haven't taken damage yet, so I'm good.
Okay, so you're doing okay still. And then the next one's a 12, so that is definitely not a hit. I know your AC.
I'm still fine.
Yeah. He has the lowest with 14. So that will be its 2 attacks against you.
Okay.
And I think that'll be its turn. Stanislav, you're up. You hear the command from Otten, just telling you not to turn back for him. What are you gonna do?
Like fucking hell. I'm
God
gonna.
damn it.
Actually, I'm all.
No.
I have.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Not HP. I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds at 2nd level on myself.
Okay, that's totally fair.
For 9. That sucks.
Love the camels. They make me happy.
So I heal for 9. Man, that sucks. 2d8 plus 4. And I get 9.
He needs to go in initiative.
Ah.
Okay. So he would have had a turn this turn too, so I'll deal with that in a second. Alright. What you doing?
So I cast that on myself.
Cure Wounds, yep.
Yeah.
You get 21 HP now?
I'm at 15.
15? Okay.
Yeah. Is there anything else I can do? Nope. Nope. I'm just gonna. I'm gonna have the camel stay where it is. I'm just gonna stay on it for now.
You're not gonna tell the camel to keep moving?
No, of course not.
Okay.
I'm just gonna mentally tell him stay where we are.
Okay.
We got this.
Torin, then you're up.
All right. Well, I guess I'll move my hunter's mark onto that thing.
Oh, that's understandable. I will say you can shoot from Camelback, but it's going to be at disadvantage with a longbow and with another person on there.
Okay.
Longbows are not meant to be shot from mounts.
You did just feel the camel stop.
And I would have heard Otten, I'm assuming, yell at us.
Yeah, you very, very much heard him yell to keep going.
Stanislav, are we going or are we fighting this thing?
What the hell do you think? We're stopped. We're not leaving these people behind. Not this time.
All right. I'm gonna shoot at the big guy.
The Hive Lord, go ahead. It'll be the first hit he takes all game. 25? I believe that hits.
Oh, that's with disadvantage. It's the 12.
Oh, it has an AC of 20, so that does not hit.
Okay.
One more. Both 17s.
Both don't hit. So you try to fire these 2 arrows while still on Camelback. You thought you had a good shot, but you just couldn't get the bow to fit right. Trying to shoot it from a Camelback is awkward. So both of your arrows just bounce off the chitinous armor. and do not find purchase. What would you like to do with the rest of your turn, my friend?
I really don't like shooting when I'm not standing on my own feet. Well, I guess we see what happens. And I'm just gonna stay right there.
Like that. Also, we need some combat music. That's my mistake. Oop. All right. So in that case, I do believe who is up next? Thorin. Bathier, who was told to stop, is not going to do anything this turn. Otten, you're up at the end of the round.
Can Bathier hold an attack if anyone comes into his range?
Sure.
Yeah, he'll hold a bite attack.
Apparently, I'm muted. Ziggy had a turn, right?
I was going to do Ziggy's at the end, but if you want, I can do it now. He does get on the camel and keeps keeps it moving. But now the road is blocked by another camel. And it's a big ass cart. And there's debris in the way.
Yeah, it's fine.
Down, Debris.
Yeah. Sorry, dude.
So, okay.
Yeah, now you got like a pile up of camels happening.
That's fine. Doesn't matter.
Camel pile up. Oh god.
Look at
What
this
we're gonna do
camelback.
is if he's on the camel, I'm just gonna slap it on the ass, tell it to get to get it moving. I at this point don't care where it goes as long as it's not here.
So before it leaves, oh, you're gonna like run up to it, you said?
Well, I just mounted Ziggy on the back of this thing, right?
Yeah. So he would have just got his turn, and then, like as it was moving, you could give it a smack on the ass.
Yeah, like just and then action, bonus action, movement, and I'm fucking hoofing.
Okay, which way are you hoofing it?
I'm gonna run past the group.
Okay. So it will get one attack of opportunity against you.
I'm more than happy to take that.
Yeah, you haven't taken too many hits yet, have you? That's
I'm
an
good.
11. That doesn't hit you.
Yeah, ruled a 4.
I'm off the map, but I'm out.
I mean, with your whole movement, you have what, 40 feet total?
You can double dash.
Yeah, I've got 3 levels in Rogue. I get 30 feet,
Okay.
then 30 feet for action, then 30 feet again. I'm off.
So you're just abandoning the party at this point.
Well, I told them to leave.
Yeah.
They
Oh, I
chose
know.
to
I know.
stick.
Yeah. No, I'm with you,
out.
dude. I support this decision 100%.
These
All
things are obviously territorial. They will not follow us that far. That is what Aten has decided, and he's fucking out.
Okay. All right. Well, you're off map. I'm taking you off initiative order. Then you're gone.
Beautiful.
You're bolted. All right.
Yep.
The Hive Lord is up. Yep.
Roll for acid breath.
Come on. Fuck.
Hashtag blast.
Okay. Gonna keep pushing because you're still in its within the range of its den, and it's gonna take a full 2 attacks on Ziggy because he's the next closest target. Actually, he's pretty smart. Yeah, he's quite smart. So he is actually going to launch. He gets 2 attacks. So he's gonna make 1 stab attack at Ziggy. Not hit. As he comes down, Ziggy just sidesteps and it hits into the sand and rock below, missing. But it is going to launch a spike at no, it's gonna keep going for Ziggy, I guess. It's tough because like I want it to launch a spike, but I don't know if it's smart enough to do that. So that does hit,
Fair.
and he takes 11 points piercing damage.
So still alive?
So as you watch, Ziggy's just trying to whip the camel. The camel's panicking now because it's been funneled into a thing, and this thing just comes up behind it and just whoosh, right through the torso. And you see the spike come out the other end, and he's kind of just held there in the air. He's like, ugh! And you just see blood begin to pour out of the wound, and he falls unconscious. Currently
Shit.
on this spike.
He's on top of the camel on the spike, yeah?
He's in the cart. He was in the driver's seat of the cart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so his back he was trying to get the fucking camel to go, but it has nowhere to move. And he just got stabbed. He is currently unconscious. That is the Hive Lord's turn. And Ziggy's gonna make his first death save. That's just straight D20, right? Not a con save?
Yeah, it's just a
What?
straight 220.
It's not his turn right now. It's my turn.
Ziggy's turn.
Ziggy's a
Ziggy
16,
didn't-
dude.
And Ziggy didn't get a turn last turn, so.
Yeah. He missed initiative order, and then I had to stick him back in it, and he rolled a 16.
I'm 19 though, so I'm right. I should be right after the Hive Lord, shouldn't I?
Yeah, I don't know why that... Oh, yeah, you are 19. I don't know why that
Yep.
did that. That's really fucking weird. Go ahead, take your turn. So he's unconscious and just held on this fucking thing's spike. What are you gonna do?
I want to. Is he grappled on the spike, like held on it?
More impaled.
Okay.
Not so much grappled. For cinematic effect, he's essentially impaled on the spike and being held a foot off the cart. Like he's currently held up by
Okay.
the spike.
Okay, so I want to jump from the back of my camel to the cart where Ziggy is.
Okay. What do you want to
Okay.
do? You
Can I
can
do
have...
that?
Well, yeah.
Like without a roll.
Peerless,
Peerless athlete.
Peerless athlete. Yeah, I mean, you could jump off your camel easily enough. I'm not going to make you roll for it. That's fairly easy.
Sure. Okay. Well, I just want to get into the cart with him.
You
Grab him essentially.
physically can't. The Kruthik Lord is standing on top of the cart where it attacked him. Like, the cart goes back about 5-6 feet from the back of the camel.
Can I grab Ziggy?
You can try. Do what you want to do.
Yeah, I do want to grab Ziggy.
Okay. Roll me an athletics check, please.
Okay. With advantage.
That's enough. Yep.
17. Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, essentially all you're managing to do is, like, yank him off of this barbed limb blade. And you manage to do so. It doesn't look pleasant, and you see the wound tear a little more on the way out, but he's unconscious, and you're kind of just have him in your arms right now. But you see this massive creature now just, like, standing above the two of you. What do you want to do?
Yep. I'm going to risk an attack of opportunity myself and go get back on Bathier.
You're dragging him out?
Well, I'm carrying him, yeah.
Okay.
So I still have Peerless Athlete. It lasts for 10 minutes.
So.
See, I'm going to grab him and get back on Bathier.
Yeah,
Just like,
I'm
go.
just trying to determine... I did rule it that if you're dragging someone out of someone's attack range, they don't do attacks of opportunity on the one being dragged. He will attack you. I've already ruled it that way, so I'll stick with that. Consistency. And we're going to go for stab. 23 to hit.
It hits, but I only take 5 points of
Yeah, you
piercing
take 5
damage.
points of piercing damage as its other arm just right up into you and just pulls out quickly. It doesn't leave you impaled.
Okay, and we're on Bathier.
I wouldn't say you're on Bathier. You're near Bathier. You already grabbed him, used an action to pull this guy off of a thing. Pull him
I have
off the
40 feet of
cart,
movement.
get onto the ground. I know, but it's still like you can't do all these things in a 6-second period, dude. You pulled a guy off a spike, got him off the cart, and are now next to Bathier.
Oh, well, in that case, I'm just going to, like, tell Bathier to, like, run alongside me, and I'm going to keep going with Ziggy as far as I can.
Sounds good. That's doable.
I will take a pot
so-
shot.
Did yet.
Yeah, I don't remember, so just put me at the bottom of the initiative order.
Sounds good. I'll second. Just remind me after the you're the camel now, okay?
Okay.
You are Bathier.
Okay.
All right,
God damn
Stanislav,
it.
that's your turn, buddy.
How much further can I get? I assume I've used at least half my movement to
Yeah,
get
because
to
like
where
you're
I am now.
climbing up on things and fucking doing that. But
Right there? Okay.
yeah,
With
and, with Ziggy. I'm trying to get him, but he's currently
A little bit fucked up.
a little bit fucked up. He's not
Cool.
looking good.
And yeah, just mentally tell Bathier to run alongside me.
Okay. His turn comes up in 2 initiatives. So Ziggy's up, and Ziggy is going to make his first death save. So nat 20, I believe, auto stabilizes, or is it worth 2 successes? I can't remember.
He's got one. No, he's got 1 hit point.
Okay, so
and he's-
stabilizes at 1, and he's conscious.
Yeah.
Okay, so he has 1 HP. Fuck yeah,
So
guys.
if Did you say you put him on the camel, by the way?
Didn't have time. He
I
already
didn't have, yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
he already dragged him off the thing.
Would have cost an action to put him back up on the camel.
So,
Gotcha.
I'm just gonna check off 3 successes here. Not really necessary, but you get 1 HP. Apply changes. There you go. He's alive with 1 HP. just barely holding on, bleeding
That's
from
amazing.
a gaping wound in his fucking torso. Just barely hanging on to life at this point. He's still being held by you. Though Longstrider's not concentration, I believe, so that would have stayed up.
Nope.
If memory serves.
I'm
Yep.
sorry, just
Which is
lasted
good.
for an hour.
Yep. In that case, he is going to, since he only used his movement. I believe he still has his arcane cannon out. He never desummoned it. He's gonna turn around and blast this dude with his arcane cannon.
I'll help aim him.
Yeah. Spell attack. 16 doesn't hit. So he tries to fire off this little cannon that's like just held onto his shoulder with these tiny legs. It fires off. Unfortunately, does not manage to get through the armor of the Hive Lord. Torin, you're up.
Just by looking at that thing, can I tell if it's still focused on Stanislav and Z?
Roll me an insight check. Or animal handling, your choice.
I'll take insight.
Okay, go ahead. Much like Michael said, these creatures are territorial. They will defend the hive until they can't, and then they will run. At this point, it has you guys running, and as it's kind of standing on top of this cart, you see it just looking down at the camel in front of it with like a hunger in its eyes. Like it's now clearly focused on whatever is closest to him. It believes it has begun to drive off its enemies, so it's kind of more posturing defensively and eyeing its next meal a little bit. Can't tell if it'll follow you. It doesn't seem likely, though.
Okay, can I hold my action? I hold my attack?
Sure, if you want.
I just want to ready myself.
What's the condition? What do you want to hold it for?
Just if it gets if it comes and it starts and it looks like it's just start approaching me on Baythir, I want to attack it.
Okay. Baythir is up. So he's gonna just start running. Thorin, you're still
to run alongside me.
Yeah, so you're still on. He's gonna do exactly that. We're gonna follow your command literally. Get up to where you are and just match pace with you from here on out. Because you told him to run alongside you. So, Auten, if you want at the end of the round to take your pot shot, you go right ahead, my friend.
Okay, I said I was going to take a pot shot, but it looks like everyone's finally extracted. And with everyone being extracted, there's no need to take the shot anymore.
Except this camel, but yes.
I shoot the camel in the head, actually.
For Benny.
You gonna shoot the camel?
It's gonna die.
It's a baby.
Probably. So go ahead and roll an attack at the camel. You just barely have line of sight on it. This tent has collapsed enough you can see it. Go ahead and roll the attack.
Camel has an AC of 9.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. What's the HP of a camel?
15.
15. All right. You know what you got to beat, buddy.
I don't think I even can, but yeah, I can only do 14, but whatever. Oh, right, sneak attack. But there's no allies near it, so it doesn't matter. It'll take 12. It's almost dead. I tried.
So you fire an arrow at the camel, and it hits it like slightly off center on the head and kind of just sticks out of his cheek and just starts freaking out and panicking, but it can't move because there is a giant monstrous insect currently on top of its cart. So it's just pinned there, and then the Kruthik Lord is going to do the next logical thing and worry about its next meal. It sees you folks leaving. It's smart enough to recognize that, but it is going to attack this camel. 25.
It's dead.
It's dead. So essentially, as this thing's panicking with the bolt sticking out of its face, the Kruthik Lord just raises up one scythe and stabs it right down into the torso of the camel, piercing the vital organs, and it begins to just whimper, and it's slowly starts pulling it in, and it looks at the rest of you running away, and it is going to launch one spike your direction as a warning. Just fire it off at the giant golden shiny man. The 19. I don't believe that hits you.
Misses.
Okay,
So it misses. Shield of faith up still. That would hit, and I would be unconscious.
Yeah, so it flies.
If I didn't have shield of faith.
Just kind of bounces off your armor. At this point, you managed to get your shield up. and does not
It's the
find
magic and
purchase.
shiny.
However, it's going to use its movement to start just like pulling the camel, but starts realizing it's attached, and now you notice all its attention is just on this particular victim. It's still wary of you folks, but it sees you're running. What do you want to do with your turn, Stanislav?
I'm gonna put I'm sorry, I'm gonna use my action to put the last 5 of my. Oh no, he's conscious. He's
Yeah,
heckin'
he has
conscious.
1 hit point, man. He's doing okay.
Yep.
Not great, but he's
Okay.
doing okay.
Yeah, no, I'm still gonna put him on the camel.
Okay. So you toss him up on the camel.
Does that take an action?
Thank you. Yeah, at this point it would, to load someone
Okay.
onto a camel and make sure he's on there steady.
Cool. And then I am going to continue. I'm just gonna go like
Moving the camel along next to you.
yeah, I want to move with the camel though. I
Yeah.
don't want to be ahead of him. So like can I like hold my movement to move with Bathier?
Yeah, like we'll at this point, like the initiative is
Like,
pretty much over.
I
This
don't
thing
want to
now,
fight.
it now has its prey. It has defended its lair. But now you have a common stop on the road that has a Kruthik hive growing. So that's a whole different problem for another day, I believe.
And yeah, I'm
Somebody
just gonna
else's
say
problem.
I'm gonna say we're not getting paid enough to deal with this shit as we're on our way out.
Yep, pretty much. So as you all we're gonna say you all flee at this point, and as you look
Yeah.
back, realizing it can't get this camel out of the harness, you just see this creature start hacking away at it. Pieces of body are just flying up. There's blood and gore spewing everywhere, and you all make your break and just haul ass down the road. Still a ways yet from Lysia, but closer now. And
Yeah, if I'm still on Bathier, I'm gonna securely hold Ziggy in place.
oh yeah. Essentially, what Stanislav like loaded him up, and you're holding him, and he just looks up at the two. He's like, "Thank you."
Actually, I'll drop a cure wounds on him.
Okay.
I'm gonna once I'm relatively confident that we're safe.
Yeah.
I'm gonna survival check. I need to find a
Not-
spot where we can
9
we
points
can
of
take
health.
shelter.
Okay, so he's at 10 HP. Yeah, go ahead, survival check to try to find somewhere safe to pull up for a bit.
Okay.
And I'm gonna drop the last 5 of my lay on hands and my last 1st level spell slot cure wounds on myself.
And yourself. Okay.
19.
19. All right. So you guys get a good ways away from this particular spot. I'm going to change the music back to something a little more calming. It's desert. We're in the desert. Isn't that beautiful? Toad,
Cantina band?
motherfucker. No, not the Cantina band. Fuck. That's fine. So we're going to open our little map here. So all this would have happened right about here. See where that bend in the road is? That's about where this all went down. You guys are currently like on this. Oh, I didn't move the. Ha 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 ha. Nailed it. So you guys would be about here. That's where the whole Kruthik thing went down, right about that direction. So you're making your way this way. So with a roll that good on your survival check, I will say, you personally know of a spot. It's not commonly visited. There's not necessarily a source of fresh water there, but if during the rainy season there is a pond that forms, you doubt it is present currently, as it's the hottest portion of the summer right now. But you do know right about here there is a common camping ground that travelers who tend to prefer the road off the beaten path seemingly enjoy, and you would know that is, and just visually you can tell that is the safest spot to be.
Okay.
It's on high ground. It's surrounded by cliffs on all sides except for one.
Yep.
And there's only one path up and down. And you
That
know
is
you're
where-
likely to find other people there if you're lucky.
Okay, how far a distance of travel is that?
So you're here, then that would be right about here. So a couple hours on
That's
Camelback.
yeah, we've only got one camel though.
Yep.
All right.
I say maybe an hour actually, because like it's not
Yeah,
that far
I'm
off the road.
I'm just gonna tell him to on my 6, and I'm gonna, with all the speed in my arsenal, which is still significant, I'm hoofing it. I'm doing 90 feet. They can do 100, so they are 10 feet faster than me. So we're not gonna cut too much off, and I'm just gonna full like
Can all three of us fit on base here?
No.
Nope.
No,
two
there's
two
no
people
way.
maximum per camel.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
if considering there's like the only reasons it's working for the two of you is because neither of you are wearing armor.
Okay.
And Bathir's a magical camel. Normal camel would probably be able to carry one heavily armored person, 2 lightly armored people, give or take.
Makes sense.
Yes.
If Otten's hosting it, I'd like to jump off and just start tracking him.
Yep, you're just following on. So you travel for about 40 minutes to an hour, and you see it kind of on this mesa, small mesa overlooking the Ember Step. The small little trading post, and it appears like there's a couple tents already set up there, but there's quite a bit of open space. It doesn't actually, like, there isn't particularly a name for it. Like, no one's actually taken the time to label it on a map, as it's kind of, like I said, it's a place where people who don't tend to stick to the roads like to camp out.
Yeah.
So a little bit of a more rough and tumble group. Lots of mercenaries use this spot to set up base camp. But it does appear as if there's some stuff. So as you approach, you kind of go up onto this road, and the road to the mesa kind of starts at the bottom and like loops its way up and around and comes up to the top. With your
So
camel. Oh, go ahead.
Once I'm in visual of this place, I'm gonna slow. Like I'm gonna make my way down to a jog and then to a walk.
Okay.
Helmet off. I'm taking one of my wine skins, and I'm just dumping it over my head.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking warm right now.
I've just gone in like an entire hour sprint.
Right. Yep.
I gotta cool down.
Yeah, cool down.
There it is black armor, so like whatever metallic bits there is a little bit of sizzle just off of it, and that's
That's ballsy thing to wear in the desert, my friend.
Yeah, but at nighttime, if I'm in a
Still warm.
stealth op, it's perfect.
Yep. Exit the initiative now.
I'm gonna. I say I dump the whole thing. I dump like half of it, and I just guzzle the rest of it.
Okay.
Well, you know,
Do I notice?
You've been here before?
A couple of times.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's reasonably safe. All things considered.
So as you approach, you come up to the top there, and there's not guards per se, but you see a number of sentries, kind of like keeping an eye out for anything big rolling in off the step there. But they don't stop you as you're coming in. They nod and acknowledge your presence, recognizing the armor too.
Yeah. I'm just gonna stop. I'm like, if you're traveling that way, don't follow the fucking path. Fuck.
Don't follow the path. Why not?
I actually haven't removed it yet.
Yep.
The spike that I got hit with, because I got spike shot, didn't I?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
One light one.
I yank the spike out of my back. Now the blood comes out, and I'm like gonna bandage it, but like, I toss it at the foot of the guard. I'm like, there's a fucking hive, and there's some biggins down at the watering hole. Put an hour down. Fuck.
We almost all died. It's very fucked up.
Is this something we should be looking into then?
I mean, yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, unless you're planning on doing like a full mobilize. I don't know how much we can do at this juncture.
I mean,
We've got a few culpable folks here. You want to
redirect a road?
Probably easier to clear the hive.
I'm not gonna lie, right now it's kind of low on my priority list.
Well,
we're also a little bit fucked up. Like, we got cuts and scrapes and shit on me.
Specifically in that term.
Well, by all means, get some rest. Don't cause any fucking trouble. There won't be any trouble.
I know better.
We'll send some people down to look out for it.
They burrow, and then I'm just walking on. I'm gonna find a corner, and I'm just gonna fucking pass out.
Okay.
Like, even if I just take a short rest, like Aten's been at full adrenaline, full attention, and kept himself there for an hour, like, I am gonna calm down fucking hard.
Do you guys have tents?
No, in the fucking thing.
In the cart.
In the cart.
Yeah, you guys had goods in that cart.
Yeah, we lost a lot. We've lost a lot,
There was rations and
but we survived. Like
gear.
primary win condition met. Like that's all I wanted out of that.
Was your money on the cart?
Some of it probably.
I would have
But,
stuffed mine in my book bag, in my
That's fair.
backpack.
Auten was broke as fuck, so it doesn't matter for him.
That's fair. So at that point,
I would have known better.
you all settle in. Some locals kind of give you the look. Camping without a tent, it happens, but like it's not necessarily recommended because it does get pretty frigid out here at night.
Yeah.
But
Can I actually look around the shops a bit before?
it's not so
I
much
think they're
shops. Yeah, these
yeah,
are like
they're-
mercenaries
these
that
are
set up. There
mercs.
might be a
They're
couple
not
like
gonna-
trading and buying and selling weapons, but nothing like you would have seen in Emberwatch. This is more of like a staging ground before they go on bigger operations in the area.
Is there anyone who looks like they're selling or trading rations?
I mean, you know what? It's the Ember Step. Anyone's willing to take money for goods at any given point, more or less. Go ahead, roll me a perception check. See if you can find someone selling some, or at least willing to trade some base goods.
With my great perception. Nope. Nope. Nope.
Doesn't appear like it, man. It looks like people are guarding their stores pretty closely here. But they you do find a few friendly folks who are willing to lend you some firewood for the evening and help you kind of get situated. A couple helpful folks in very basic armor.
I'm out.
Yeah, Auten is just done. So are we taking a long rest or are we taking a short rest here? What's the plan?
So I was gonna say short rest for Auten, but I think he doesn't have a choice anymore. It has to be a long rest. Like he's burned.
Okay, so it's a long rest then?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds good. I'm totally fine with that. So if everyone's going to tuck in for a long rest, you don't really need to leave a watch here. You might want to, because you never know. There's usually some sketchy individuals around, but that's entirely up to you. How are you going to break that down? What do you want to do?
Yeah, so kind of like you said though, this place is Mercs, but in a weird way. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Auten doesn't have a say.
Auten's already asleep.
I'm
Auten's
just
already
gonna
out.
telepathically
You
tell
done.
Bathier, who is a celestial camel that doesn't need sleep.
Fucking celestial
anybody-
camel.
If anybody approaches us while we're asleep, please intimidate them away.
You hear back in your head, okay, man. I got it covered.
I appreciate that. I'm gonna give him scritchies down his big neck.
He's just gonna do that camel thing where he kind of just plops himself down and stares.
He just-
Just watching.
Spit on anybody.
Okay.
If they come too close.
So, if everyone's gonna take a long rest at that point, I need Bathier to roll me a perception check, please.
Okay. Where is extras? There's extras. That would just be wisdom.
Yep.
I'm just gonna roll a d20 and it's -1.
Also, it's nighttime in the Ember Steep at this point. Getting there, so we're gonna switch to Desert at Night sounds. Okay. So. Okay. The next morning finds you. Just to be safe, you check your belongings for the day. Here's as if everything is in the place it is.
Yeah, I would
should
have slept like this, holding onto my bag.
Yeah,
just
I wouldn't
clutching it.
There's a certain honor among
Underneath
thieves
my
type thing.
robes.
I really didn't. I really
Yeah, it is very unlikely that someone would rob a member of the Kiram.
Yeah.
But your two friends, maybe not so much. But it appears like everything's fine at this point. Stanislav, as you wake up, Bathier just looks over you. Oh, good.
Thanks,
And just
buddy.
every time.
Yep.
But it appears as if all your stuff is in order. The sun has begun to rise, and since you all just passed the fuck out as soon as you got here, I didn't really even need to put on the night sound effects. We're back to the desert sound effects now. But I need someone in this group to roll me a percentile for the new day, please.
I'll do it. I haven't done it yet.
All right, Torrance
Do
got
it.
it. Roll me a weather check, buddy.
No, maybe.
Come on.
Oh, that's really strange. My little thing to roll a dice is not popping up.
That's fine. You can just do it from the Roll20 menu too.
All right.
Just the D100 there. Man, fucking okay. It's a normal day in the Ember Steppe. The weather is hot, the air is dry, but you don't find it's all that windy. It doesn't appear to be like any inclement weather on the horizon or any sandstorms coming up, which is the more important side of the two. But appears to be a fairly clear day here in the Ember Steppe. How would you like to start your morning?
I'm fucking hungry. I only have 2 of my rations left. I left most of them in the cart.
Yeah, I just got the one myself.
Well, I've got a couple things in here I might be able to. One second. And you see Ziggy once again reach his hand into the backpack and it just disappears. Like his arm is far deeper in that thing than it should be. And he just pulls out like
Try to look inside it.
It's nothing, it's just black. And he just kind of reaches in a little deeper and pulls out just like a small kind of like a leather pouch, and he opens it and it's essentially like
Lamba's bread.
trails, like almost trail mixy. Like it's some hearty trail mix. It's got some like oats, it's got some shit in it, there's some nuts. A couple things you go to just keep it going. This is really all I have left from all my journeys, but
5 days of rations left.
Could you have stored those all on your person at a time?
I would have put everything else on the cart.
yeah, if it's basic rations like dried meat or whatever, that's doable.
So for context, Dotson had 16 days worth of rations. I carried everything I could on me without expending my carry weight. The rest was on the cart.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I have 5 days on my person.
Oh, well, I had 6 before, so I probably would have been able to carry 6 in my bag.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Okay.
I mean it's like when I say like trail rations that you're buying at the store, it's usually like trail mix, smoked meats, or like beef jerky, essentially. Or what is it, pemmican? I think it's called.
Yeah,
I believe it's essentially that. Like it's desert pemmican.
Well, we should be in Lycia within a day. I think we'll be fine.
Unless some more of that happens.
That was, with last time I thought we would be fine. We met a bunch of crazy fucking insects.
Well, this time I personally vote not to go in the hole. Because that was I kind of think the bad decision.
I don't think it was a bad decision at all.
Well, like, no, the fact that you got pulled into the hole, that's beside the point. If we can avoid going in the hole is what I'm saying. We don't go in the hole.
We didn't.
Ne'er go
win some, you
holders,
lose some.
By that point, we didn't really have a chance. If we had left, we would have been fine.
I would have been dead, unfortunately, but
which absolutely cannot happen.
not if you want to get paid. No.
I was referring
Plus, I
to
kinda like
actually not watering the camels, which I believe was one of the proffered.
Yeah, that might have been
choices.
a bit of a mistake in retrospect. But
Oh, it's fine.
we're here, we're alive. It's fine. We just got to get to Lysia. It should
Yeah,
be about a day.
Considering we only lost a camel, I think we're doing all right.
Poor
Yeah,
creature.
about that. I'm not able to hoof the entire space. We don't have a cart anymore. This trip just got a lot harder.
Well, if it's how far away from Lycia are we ish?
Roll me a geography check.
Actually, hey, Otten, how far away from where we're going? You seem to know better about tracking these lands.
Fuck you.
I'm gonna role play it instead because
Fuck
I
you.
don't fucking no.
Yeah.
There's no way I actually know.
Your old you
yeah,
might. New you doesn't.
Yeah. How far from Lycia are we?
Do I mean,
Never been to this place.
I'd have a vague idea. Do you want me to roll to have a more accurate
Yeah,
guess?
I wish there was a geography check, but there's not.
I mean,
History.
Yeah, I was thinking history geography because in Pathfinder, I believe it's history geography is one of the things.
I don't know. I could pull up my character.
11.
Nature.
Okay, based on that, it's probably about a day. Day's hard travel, day and a half if you take it slow.
A day at slow march, probably.
Maybe less.
What? That's alright. You can be on camel. I don't need to be on camel at all. I'm fine with heat.
Okay, but if shit hits the fan, I can still run. And
So can we.
okay, but we've established that in a competition of running, the only person here who's faster than me is Beethier.
Exactly. So we can fit at least
You're
2
not
slow
wrong.
people
So,
on Baythir.
if you don't mind, I'll stick with the camel.
Right.
Absolutely.
He just goes up and
And
pats Beethier. Beethier, "Mm,
yeah.
You're the one paying us after all. You should be, on camel.
I
And I
appreciate
mean,
that.
I guess. All right. Here's my You know what? Yes, you should run with me, Torin. We should talk.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, on that cryptic moment, we're gonna take our break because we're ending the game around 9:30. So I figure 8 o'clock is about a good point to take a little breather for the evening. Thank you everyone in chat who has swung by. Sorry we're not addressing it regularly, just trying to keep the story going. Tarkonix, thank you so much swinging by. You never fail to disappoint, my beautiful friend. You will be the BBEG one day, I promise. Right. At that point, we're gonna take a quick 15. Really gotta hit the bathroom. So we'll be back in about 15 minutes. Catch you guys in a few. Hang tight, and we will see you soon. Peace.
And that is that perhaps the time would come where it would be a snap decision between surviving or running. And your inclination to fight is stronger than what I think this mission calls for, and that concerns me. That is it, basically, if I'm being honest. That is the current state of affairs that I am at.
Well, yeah, I understand. I mean, I did go right into that tunnel just because it fucking took him. I wanted
Okay.
to get him back, but I
To-
understand with everything else that's happened.
Yeah, to be fair, I encouraged you to go down that tunnel, but I had been hoping that you could catch up to them before they got all the way in the cave. That was my tactical analysis.
Shit happens. But so
It
basically,
does.
what you're asking me to do is to fight that natural urge to just run in there, and instead maybe think about running away.
I'm saying that there's no reason to fight. There is no purpose in a fight when we have a client who just needs to get from point A to point B. There are worthy battles, and then there are times we don't have to.
But what if he
So-
has something that I really want?
It. I will.
You know what? I want money more than whatever those people want because I can get better things than what they have with money.
I mean, yeah,
That's how I should be thinking about it.
really. I mean, isn't gold usually shinier?
I mean,
And like
Look at
you can see that Aten is like stretching, trying to find this.
no,
little
Stanislav
Aten.
picks a gold coin out of his looks through his coin pouch for a second. He pulls out a particularly shiny one and like does the thing through his hands next to his eyes.
Okay.
You all right, my friend?
Um.
Puts it back in his pouch.
Yes.
I think I see what
so,
you mean.
With all of this being said, and I've talked to our friend here, Torin, whose name I completely forgot for about half a second, and I don't know why. That was embarrassing.
That's okay. It's easy to get lost in his dreamy
Torn
eyes.
glares.
yeah.
A little
And
bit of unnatural, just hair flow.
Torin feels that his particular set of skills are better suited for ground combat than on horse. Well, camelback.
I did see you try and shoot that thing off of Baythir. It was a little sad, not gonna lie. Pats you on the shoulder.
So, I would like you to run cavalry with the client on camelback. I am not the commander here in any way, shape, or form. This is not a unit. This is a team trying to get a job done.
What does cavalry mean?
Cavalry means that you're going to be on the back of an animal that moves faster.
So on Baythir.
Yes. We'll talk about military tactics some other time.
Not my
But
strong point.
I understand. You're going to be riding on Baythier. If combat is unavoidable and you need to slash on the back of Baythier as a hit and run tactic, fine. But if it looks like things are going bad, the most glorious option, and again, like it is very apparent that he is trying to speak Stanislav's language, even though it's like very foreign to him.
You have him very engaged right now.
Yeah, to keep the client safe.
All right.
And our lives for this job specifically are worth that glory.
So basically, you're saying if it gets hairy, get out.
Yeah, basically.
Or before it gets hairy, get out.
Preferably, optimistically, if we run into a situation like that again, like the one that we just came from, we will be able to extract more
This
casually.
time,
Yes.
we're just, and I'm just gonna pat Ziggy on the shoulder. We're just not gonna let you go into cave.
That would actually probably have solved a lot of our problems now that I'm a lot of my problems, at least now that I'm thinking about it. I am glad you are on the team.
I
Gives you a
mean,
big, shiny, golden smile.
the reason we waited was Stanislav and I have been through a lot. We lost a close friend. We weren't in any position to leave anyone we were traveling with behind. Clearly, you're someone who can take care of themselves. Clearly, probably the fastest person I've ever seen run. That was a tactical error on our part.
No, not inherently. It's complicated, but I'm going to. I'm just going to put it this way. When a comrade falls, do your brothers follow?
Typically, we try and kill the things that killed the brother,
Right.
Usually, yes.
and that's what happened with our fallen friend.
There's a better way to put this, and I'm missing it. If your friend jumps off a cliff, would you fall? No. I won't do that.
I've heard the myths of the Keyleth from back in whenever.
Yes. You're afraid. Not afraid. Afraid is not the right word. I don't think either of you are afraid, but you've lost a friend, and so you didn't want to lose anyone else. That's fine, but does he want you to join him?
I'm sure in his own twisted way, he probably would.
Stanislav has rolled up his sleeve to reveal this snake sort of tattoo, but it's a little bit raised off of his arm.
Right.
And it looks like it's shimmering.
So he left you a memento to live.
That he did.
Right. So survive. I don't know what his legacy was. He obviously made some sort of impact on you, given that both of you have reacted in such a way. But if he left a memento, it's a memento of life. So live.
I look at Torin. Who else is going to tell his story better than us?
Looks a lot like a tragedy now, but it's a very different artist. It's a whole thing. Never mind. Just go on. Taylor Swift references. Don't
At
worry
this
about
point,
it.
yeah, no, those go completely over my head. My mom's dog loves Taylor Swift. Actually, it's the only thing she falls asleep to. Anyway, bringing it back. At this point, Ziggy is getting a little like impatient, so he kind of leans around Baythier again. So are we about ready to go at this point?
I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were in such a hurry to hit the road again.
Well, I'd like to, finish what I set out to do.
That's fair. Let's get on our way.
All right.
Hopefully,
I'll actually
minus
put my
the
hand
chance
up.
of deaths today.
Can't promise anything, and I'll take the crossbow back from Torin.
I'm gonna
Go
I'm
ahead,
gonna take out
Delver.
my charlatan's die
Mm-hmm.
in front of Ziggy, and I'm gonna say, what do you feel is your lucky number if we were to have a good day?
It's a D6, right?
Yeah.
6.
He rolls it, and it of course lands on a 6. See, everything's going to be a great day. Now you and I are going to be riding on top of our big golden friend here.
That's a cute trinket. Careful who you use it on here.
Just loading up the crossbow.
He's gonna
and I'm
Get on
like,
the-
well,
Get on the camel.
He hops on the camel and just kind of snickers a little bit at you. So what's the?
Stanislav looks angrily at his dice, puts it back in his bag.
fair.
You picked a magical trinket to swindle people in the most magical land on this continent.
He's not trying to swindle anybody. He's
know.
being very Jedi-like with it.
Very Jedi-like with it. Yeah, that's fair. Anyway, what is our marching order
You get
for
the-
today?
I'll take the
Um,
rear.
Yeah,
you
I'll have I would like to have Stanislav and Rusty. Stanislav and Ziggy on Camelback taking point. And then Torin. Actually, Torin, why don't I take the rear? Because I'm faster, right? So like you being closer, like you being in the middle, I feel like is more valuable here because you have in the case of a full sprint, you're more likely to be left behind if you're further back. That's my mentality.
Good point.
No, that's fair. Works for me.
Okay, as long as everybody is kosher, then that works for me.
All right. So we have Torin in the front, Bathir in the middle, and then Axioms at the back. Or,
Yep.
Sorry, your name's Axioms in Zoom.
That's fine. That's fine.
Auten at the back.
Yep.
All right. So we're moving at actually, did we roll weather today? We did already.
Yeah, it's a nice normal day.
Nice normal day. It's still hot as balls because it's a desert.
Yeah.
And you're wearing solid black metal armor. So, how far are we planning on traveling today? Are we going to do the full 8 hours and get to town tonight? Or are we going to split it up a little to avoid the heat and the cold? What do you want to do? Dealer's
Well, I mean,
choice.
if we
We're
can
not
make
in a
it,
hurry. There's no deadline. We can take it into.
it's actually
Okay.
smart.
So how long are you traveling in the sun versus at night? That's the stuff I need to know.
I believe you said 8 before was the max we could do before.
4 hours
Uh,
on foot under the sun, 8 hours on a
Okay.
mount.
So 3 hours and 59 minutes.
Uh-uh.
About 3.5 hours on
Nuh-uh.
foot. 3.5 hours on foot.
Yeah.
Sure. Just, yep, sure. It's still 3 hours of traveling under sunlight, so anyone without heat resist, roll me a fucking constitution save. Just for being smartasses.
All right, I see how it is. I see how it is.
10 on the dot.
You're okay. Also okay.
I'm also fine. Yeah.
All right, and then Ziggy doesn't have to worry
Ziggy's
about
on a
it.
camel.
He's riding on a
Yeah.
camel, and you have heat resist, so you're fine.
I don't ever have to do it.
The sun is swelteringly hot today.
Here comes the sun.
Doodle-doo.
I've got my goggles and desert garb all done up.
Yeah, so you're managing to avoid the worst of it. You do start to feel the sun kind of weighing you down by about the 4 hour mark, but you do manage to resist the most of the effects of the heat. So you are able to continue traveling if you'd like, or you can hang out till nightfall. That is your decision. What would you like to do at the 4 hour mark?
Yeah, I'm just gonna survival check and find a spot to cool down, like hole up and cool down.
All right, go ahead. Whoever wants to roll that survival.
Can I
Ranger-
Sorry, I have
Ranger
a
can also
5.
help.
I'm assuming that nobody else has anything better.
I have a +6.
Okay.
You do have a
bonus
ranger
action-
in the party.
I'll
Yeah, why
bonus
don't you guys
action
do it?
help you. Or no, I can't bonus action help yet. I'll help you.
Yeah, just, help. So go ahead and roll at advantage, Torn. Okay. So with the 18, you do manage to find somewhere that's kind of like a rocky outcrop at the edge of a sand dune that's kind of jutting out, and there is a small point of shade you can sit in and take some rest while you wait for the sun to kind of fade beyond the horizon a little bit here. Are you going to be camping out here until the evening for the whole night and moving again the next morning? You know you have about 4.5, 5 hours left on your journey, give or take.
Well, I assume you're just staying here until nightfall and then continuing on.
That was my plan.
So you wait out the
Sweet.
afternoon in the shade. Yet another day on the Ember Step. And as the sun begins to travel across the sky and fade below the western horizon, you see that last golden glow of orange take to the sky as the sun finally just crests beyond the horizon. Night has begun to fall. Temperature is beginning to grow colder, as it tends to in the desert at night. Would you like to carry on?
Let's get a move on.
Yep.
Okay. So,
Do this.
since it's now nightfall, I assume you're following the road at this point, though, correct? Or are you still going off-road?
It's in the road.
Yeah,
it is?
following the road.
All right. So, whoever's leading the charge, roll me a perception check. I believe it was Torin in the front row.
I believe so, yes.
I believe.
13.
That's the
13,
case.
okay. You're keeping an eye on the road. You know bandit activity, while it has slowed down, it is still ever prevalent here in the Ember Steppe due to the fact that it is a harsh place to survive, and sometimes it is easier to take things from people than it is to earn them yourself. However, the road ahead does appear to be clear. It's a long, winding road that weaves between sand dunes and along the edges of cliffs, or I guess rocky outcroppings, not so much cliffs. Occasional valley here and there. You stop occasionally just to kind of like scope out and get an eye on the horizon. But as nighttime travel goes, it appears like nothing is yet to cross your path. Are you going to do the full 4 hours and just push the rest of the way to Lysia?
Probably, yeah.
Okay. So at about the 4-hour mark, as the temperatures here begin to reach below the mark of 0, the frigid air that whips across the desert sands here at night begins to take all of you. I need Constitution saves one more time, please. Probably not.
Ooh.
Yeah, because most of you are wearing like basic okay, well, you guys are fucking fine. Come on, someone roll badly.
What about
I
Ziggy?
I did a 7.
Oh, Torin got a 7. Okay, thank you for reminding me about Ziggy. You forgot to do both. So he succeeds the first one, fails the second one. So, Rob, you
He
and
didn't
Ziggy.
need to do the first one. He was on Baythier,
He was, that's true.
so he just succeeds.
Yeah, I'll count it as a success. That is fine. So it's just Torin. You take a point of exhaustion as you're shivering in the cold. It's beginning to get into your muscles. You're sore. You're freezing. You are, usually by now you would have found like a warm fire to camp by for the evening, but traveling at night has its benefits.
This desert exhaustion is kicking my ass.
Yeah, you are freezing cold, so you're now exhausted. Anyway, you continue along this road, and at a certain point you begin to see, kind of cresting over the sand dunes ahead of you, a bright kind of glow just emanating from behind the dunes. It's just a massive concentration of light coming from one spot. And as you come over this last sand dune, you see, looking into a valley ahead of you, right here, at this little oasis, nestled along the cliff's edge of the road that comes down off the Incendus mountain range, you see a metropolis. Sprawling metropolis of glittering lights sticking out in the middle of the desert, surrounded by lush, what you assume to be green vegetation, but it's hard to make out in the night. The population of this place is rivaled only by its sister city, Pillarstone. They are the two largest cities on the entire continent. And as you come over this last hill and see this just endless amount of light in front of you, you begin to descend down, and already the loud sounds of the city are beginning to fill your ears, even as you're approaching it. It is massive. So I'm going to switch you to a map here. This one was a work in progress. I've updated it, so this is not the completely finished version, but it will give you the general idea of how big this fucking city is.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Tiny little place.
Tiny city. So, essentially, you'll be coming in on the road here on the southeastern side of town. As you follow this road and approach this city, which I have a soundscape for somewhere. Lysia. It is nightfall, so the market is not overly busy, but you do hear the sound of kind of raucous music coming out from the taverns around, and you hear the chattering of people echoing through, kind of bouncing off the stone walls. You hear fires burning in the streets, and as you approach on this road, you notice now that you are entering what appears to be an extremely large tent city, essentially built outside the front gates. There are just a sprawling landscape of different colored tents, different sized tents, different shapes, different originating from different places within the continent. Actually, roll me a history check for anyone who thinks it would be appropriate to do so. Axiom or Auten, you definitely have a lot of experience here. Stanislav, roll me one at disadvantage, please. Roll me flashback.
Nice.
Yeah, roll for flashback.
As it should be.
Can't get much worse than that. 4.
At disadvantage, yeah. So with that, this place is familiar, but you don't know why. You've been plenty of tent cities before. You've been around. There's tents everywhere. This is totally normal. Auten, however, you know for a fact that Walesia is the wealthiest, or it's comparable to Pillarstone in terms of its wealth. This is the big gambling city. This is like the kind of the Las Vegas in the middle of the desert, essentially. It's very much a Las Vegas style town. You know that the most valuable commodity in the desert is water. The people inside the walls have ready access to it. You can see there's a large lake with a large arena built into the center of it. But on the outside, there are only 2 sources of water. One here, one here. You're familiar with these. You've had to visit them in the past, correct? However, you know that essentially the people living in these tent cities they're not quite slaves. They're slightly above that rank in terms of society, but they are the impoverished, and they're kind of in like a state of indentured solitude or servitude. Where those 2 sources of water are controlled entirely by the leader of the city and his 2 groups of guards that man the 2 stations there. So these people essentially work in exchange for like water tokens as opposed to currency. So these are servants who are still above a slave, but not quite, just barely.
Understood. Yeah.
So they all live out here in these tents, and this is where a lot of traders and traveling merchants and people will set up on their way through town to avoid paying the inn prices. Overall, this city does not treat its poor very well, and you know that for a fact. Having come here both as a man with money in your pocket and probably a man without, you're very familiar. Torin, you spent most of your time in the mountains. You don't spend a lot of time coming to the big gambling cities, so you're completely out of your element here. This is more people in one space than you have ever seen in your life. Yeah. And as you're walking through these tents, you see children running around wearing little more than rags. Essentially, the bare necessities for the sake of modesty is what these people wear in general. A number of people wearing torn robes. Some dressed okay. You can tell which ones are the traveling merchants out of this group, because they're the ones who still have the appearance of wealth. Their tents are nicer. They have goods for sale. Though it is the evening, so things are starting to weigh down. You've traveled for 4 hours in the nighttime. It's like pushing 1 a.m. at this point. So people are sleeping. There's still a number of them out in the streets running around. There's still some children about. You gather these are probably orphans who scrape together whatever living they can in the streets here. And as you're walking, you're trying to make your way through the crowd. There's drunk people in these kind of streets. They're more just mud paths that people have just trodden over repeatedly. People are bumping into you. You're trying to just make your way through the crowd. The camel is having a hell of a time, but you're kind of leading it. However, as people are bumping into you, Stanislav, you feel someone hit you quite hard and like kind of at the waist level.
Fucking watch it.
And you see a kid just slam into you.
Yeah, so my passive perception is 18.
Passive perception is 18. Okay. I need to pull up a rogue real quick. Dip. I need a character sheet to roll this dice. Actually, fuck it, I'm gonna roll it. You said an 18 passive?
Yeah.
Come on. Fuck. Shit. Okay, even with this sleight of hand, that's not good enough. So you watch as this kid slams into Stanislav, slips a hand into his coin purse, and just tries to, like, nick a few coins out of it. Not a whole handful, just a couple coins. And he just kind of like bumps them, and then Power keeps walking past, doesn't stop to say he's sorry or anything. Keeps going.
I pull it. I reach into my coin purse. It's very empty. I have one gold coin left, and I flick it over to Stanislav.
You're muted.
I think you said 1 second.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Someone came in
just
the room.
Grab it. Now aware of what that kid actually did.
More or less.
Yeah. Wait, I'm on a camel. How did he do that?
No, Torin was. Oh no, Torin wasn't. Sorry, Torin. It would have been you. He pickpocketed. That's my bad.
Okay. Well.
Either way,
I'll flip it
same
over.
deal.
Yeah.
Thorn probably would have seen though. You have a much higher passive perception than me.
I got a 16.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, you would have noticed that in that. Actually, it would have just beat it because he has a sleight of hand of 5. So you would have just.
Yeah,
not
I'm
noticed.
still just in awe. Just not.
Oh yeah, you're completely taken aback, and they know to target that. They're very smart kids. These. Anyway, so you, Auten flips a coin over to you.
I catch it.
Small compensations. We're gonna make more very shortly.
What are you talking about?
Well, he's gonna pay us. I point to Ziggy.
No, I'm at the coin.
Oh, let's just say that you're a little lighter now in the purse department than you were a few moments ago, and
You mean the kid?
no, I mean the hawk that flew through and just like, yes, the kid. No, I'm kidding. Yes.
I make sure to like tie everything extra tight.
A little
for
tighter.
seeing
Yeah,
this.
I get you. I get you.
Hands resting on the hilt of my sword.
This is why I don't like the city.
They're poor. They're doing what they have to survive.
Yeah.
I probably could have done something about it, but
Perhaps I should have. Perhaps I should have warned you about that.
Oh, no,
Keep a close eye on your coin purse here, especially here.
just kind of
Shall we?
tighten my robes as well.
He kind of just like
Onwards.
snuggles up. So,
Yeah.
you make your way towards the opening gates of the front gates of Lysia. You know for a fact there is only one gate into the city. There's obviously a way for the leader to get out if he needs to. That much is well known. No one know where it is. Anyway, as you approach these gates, you see them carved upon them. Just multiple, just different style, like almost Greek style carvings. Not quite, a little more Egyptian, but like less hieroglyphic, more physical representations of the hierarchical structure of Imperium society. You see the slaves at the bottom being whipped by their masters, and you see the different echelons of people. And like with each carving by the top of the gate, you see, which you know, I believe the 1 sec, I just need to check one quick detail before I say it officially, just so I don't fuck up my own thing. Yeah, no. So there are 6 at the top. You see 6 carvings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 carvings. I apologize. Each one representing one of the members of the Council of Mines. You've seen these effigies carved before. They're everywhere. Very common, and they kind of just stand there, arms crossed, standing above the entire society. The gate's ajar, but still like closed enough that you can see that much.
right.
And as you enter, your memories all flash back to a time. Maybe not you, Auten, but Stanislav and Torin. As you hear coming from within the gates the sound of whips cracking.
Yeah, at
And
that
voices
point,
screaming.
Torin's kind of glaring.
This reminds you of a very hard time in both of your lives, when you two stood under the whips of the Imperium masters. As you enter the inner gate, still carved in a similar fashion, though somewhat smaller than the outer one, you enter and find yourself within the market space of Lysia. There's torches burning all around. You see different buildings. You see a building with a sign over it that says Sandy Treasures.
And they just let us in, the guards at the gate. They
Yeah.
didn't even question us.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Well, I guess because we have this dude with
Yeah,
us.
this is the market. They don't really like, if you don't look overly sketchy, you have a golden camel and you have a member of the Magus Imperium traveling with you. They're not stopping you. Like at this point, Ziggy just leans over on the camel, nods to one of the guards who sees his outfit and just stands up straighter, and you pass right through. You see a building called Swords and Shackles, Armand's Armory, and the Dune Rest Inn. These are the 3 biggest buildings in the market. One is an inn, and the rest tend to speak for themselves. Most of them are closed at the moment, except the inn, of course. And then standing dead center, right in the middle of the market, it's the largest building of them all. It's a large circular building that's essentially an open air thing. It's just supported by pillars around the outer rim. Very Roman or Greek in its style of architecture. Very much open to the elements. And even now, at this hour, there are lineups of people. There are massive groups of people here. And this is where people seem like there's people drinking, there's people partying in the streets, there's games of dice happening on the road, but people are still drawn here. And as you kind of approach, you see standing on what we'll call a stage, a massive man, very portly in terms of his build. I just need to open the pavilion here. Yeah, and you see this man standing kind of above everyone, with a gold chain in one hand and a bag of coin in his thing. He's got one foot up on a chest, and he's just auctioning. You just hear him calling auctions. 40 gold pieces, okay, 50 gold pieces, and he just keeps, like, the numbers just keep racking up. And as you approach and get a little closer, you see inside finally, and on top of the stage, you see a very large man. Lighter skin tone with slightly elvish features, but extremely buff. Like, there's a little more of the human hardiness as opposed to the elven litheness in this person. He's extremely buff, but there are scars across his body, whip scars on his back, and a large gash that still appears to be healing, kind of going across the center of his face. He stands about 6 feet tall. Stanislav, that's a gladiator. If ever you have seen one, that is a man who was destined for the arena. May have already seen the sands himself, but as you're standing there observing, you see the final gold. 150 gold pieces, right at you. And he just smiles, and you see a little bit of a gold tooth just ding, shimmer in the torchlight, and a pair of guards come up and escort this man in chains down into the crowd, where a person essentially joins in. A very rich, very well-dressed, very wealthy-looking individual joins in, essentially leads this man with 2 guards at his back out of the pavilion, past the 3 of you. As you, not suspiciously, a few of you are dressed a little more, like it looks like you've seen a lot of travel, and then they see the member of the Imperium with you, and they straighten up immediately. You find even the small positions within the Imperium command more respect than the average citizen. Like, the lowest man in the Imperium is still better than the wealthiest man who does not count himself among the group. So you get the feeling there's a serious sense of authority traveling with this individual. And the auctions once again continue, this time some smaller group of people on stage, all a little skinnier. These appear to be people who would be servants, working in the market, working in the houses, and the auctions continue well into the night.
At that moment there, I just get kind of cozy up to Stanislav and look up at that area. I already don't like that place.
Definitely not. Just keep a low profile for now, though.
I have to like it. We just have to finish the job.
And I'll look down at my arm. Just, at least we got ourselves covered.
How quietly
Right,
did you
Ziggy.
say that?
I just whispered it to him.
Okay. Ziggy doesn't catch it. Ziggy doesn't notice that. He's kind of just like taking in the city. He looks quite afraid, like he's ready for someone to rob him at any point.
I'm gonna pat him on the shoulder. Ziggy, take the reins of Bethia here. He understands what you say. Just tell him where we need to go now.
We need to head to the castle. And he kind of points, and you look further in, and standing on a hilltop, overlooking like this oasis in the middle where the arena is, you just see these towers of a great castle. Very Middle Eastern in its design, almost like tall, rounded buildings with like rounded tops, as opposed to the more jagged and European-style architecture you would find in Miura and the Dominion of the High Lord. And it just stands there tall. Again, torches. The arena does not appear to be active tonight. All the torches on the arena are currently out. But Stanislav, as you see that, finally looking, you see a Colosseum standing against the sky, almost blocking out the castle behind it. A massive towering edifice of an arena, just standing above pretty much everything else. You, being a gladiator, would know this as the Blood Spring Arena.
Oh.
Named after the spring that created the oasis and the blood that flows into it with each event.
I might say
These are the big leagues.
you would find combat here, Stanislav, but I wonder if you would find glory.
If you're looking for glory, there's not much better places than in there. Let me tell you that much.
I have seen the combatants, and let me tell you, combat without willingness has no glory.
You can volunteer to go if you like. Not necessarily slaves that compete. Though
First,
I will
let's
say
go get
those are
paid.
the only people who die.
When the
Follow.
dust you walk on is the bones of others, tell me, do you find glory in that?
He just kind of looks at Stanislav, who he sees just eyeing this this arena. Ask him.
Is there no greater glory than avenging the fallen?
That depends what you're building on their backs.
Debates for another day, perhaps. And he just kind of gives
Well,
the
the way
camel.
I-
Faith here
the
to the castle.
The way I see it, I haven't been paid, so I'm willing to debate whatever I'd like right now.
And that's
Yes.
where we're going.
Yeah, and he just whips
Onwards.
the camel and leads you. And now, as you approach the gate here, into what is... So this is the lower market. This is like where they kind of allow the general populace to go. To the left here, on the western side of town, that's where all the wealthy folk live. It's a
Right.
closed off area. It's essentially a gated community. You either need to own property or have an invitation to even get in there.
Makes
However,
sense.
the gate over here, that leads to the upper market. So you'll notice the places here are a little bit on the fancier side.
Indeed they are.
Don't make a scene, or you'll be removed. But apart from that, you're with me, so enjoy yourselves.
I mean,
He just
we definitely stick out a little bit.
keeps riding the camel and just makes his way up this road here through the main market. On your left, you see a fairly simplistic rounded building, kind of like almost a guard tower, but not quite. It's large, less open air than the Slavers Pavilion, but still
Okay.
large windows. You can see inside lots of drapes, beautiful like silks and stuff hanging from the ceiling. Ziggy just kind of points it. That's where you'd like to visit if you're looking for the more physical rewards for your long hard day's work. And here, and he points to the Sands End Inn and Spa. If you're looking to get pampered, that's the place to do it. I'm a fan. And he just keeps riding past. He's kind of just giving you like the tour. You can tell Ziggy has spent a lot of time up here. And then the last store you pass is this kind of little but very like well-built shop. Like the stonework is immaculate, and it just says Beaugen's Baubles above the door. That is the best magic shop in the town. If you got something you're looking for, that's probably the place to look. Keep in mind his prices are a little bit higher. With me. And once again, he continues, goes over the drawbridge and enters the final gate leading up to Castle Leezy. Well, there's a gate at the castle, but this is what guards the kind of royal district. This is where diplomats will stay, members of the Council of Mines when they're visiting town, and the prison and barracks are also located in this area. And as you enter, this time the guards cross their things as the golden camel approaches. Ziggy just kind of like swings one leg off and with a little difficulty dismounts and approaches. He's, I must get in right away. I must speak with Felala. Fel-Alar is the name, but it sounds like
No.
fa-la-la when you say it fast with an accent.
Oh,
I would like to
my
speak
ding
fa-la-la,
dong.
la-la-la.
Yeah, all I heard is oh, my ring ding dong. Anyway,
I would like to speak with Fel-Alar, please. It's an emergency. This is big news from the excavation. And the guards immediately across the thing, and he hastens in on foot and makes way towards the castle. As he's doing it, some of the other guards perk up, and he makes his way to the front gate. Sit tight for just a moment. Wait here. And he reaches in. He's like, I do believe you're owed this much. And he pulls out, what was it? Was it 500 gold pieces we agreed on, I think? I can't remember.
Right.
I lost the recording, so we're going to say 500 gold. So he pulls out a
Okay.
bag of 50 platinum. There's your fee. I'm going to go in and see if I can get you a little something extra for the good work you did. You saved my life out there. Hang tight for a moment.
I'm counting. I'm ignoring everything he's saying.
There's-
I would have grabbed it from him because I was on the camel, and I toss it down to you.
Yeah,
There's
just
50 platinum pieces in there.
yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, good enough.
I mean, if you'd like, you can go find your way to an inn. Just let one of the guards know, and I'll find you there. And we can discuss perhaps going about the second leg of this journey together, if that's something you're interested in.
I mean, we've gotten this far together. Might as well stick it out a little longer.
I appreciate that. Well, there's another 500 gold if we make it the whole way. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some business to go handle. And he turns
Alright,
his,
will be
turns
it.
his back and starts walking, even as you're talking to him. And he
Well,
just
boys, you want to go back to that fancy place where you get pampered?
I mean, I'm down for a little fun.
As am I.
I kind of just wink at Stanislav.
Heh.
I'm just gonna go to the inn.
Where?
I'm going to for the first time in this campaign. Not that it's been like an incredibly long campaign, but nonetheless, I'm going to the first time I'm going to drink.
Oh. Okay, so what inn would you like to go to? Are you looking for somewhere a little classier, like the San Zen, which is more expensive, but there's like a full hot spring spa in the basement? Pearl of
No
Sands
reason-
also offers rooms, but generally that comes with company. And then the Dune Rest is like the basic traveler package inn. It's your
Yeah,
it's the
so-
comfort inn, essentially.
There's no reason to splurge for extra stuff. Like,
I agree.
I don't get anything out of it. So the Dunes Inn. If they don't have alcohol, I'll buy the alcohol separate.
That's fair.
The dinner's in. All right, Bathir. Thanks a lot, buddy. I'm gonna unsummon Bathir.
So
As you hear, as
Stanislav.
he's going away, you just hear, "Oh man, I miss you," and it disappears.
Stanislav, a quick question for you. I won't keep talking about the arena. That's fine. We can talk about that later. But
All right.
you had mentioned earlier that you had lots of training.
A
And
little bit experience as well now.
training and experience. Did you train at the arena? Where did you train? Here, elsewhere?
To be honest with you, I don't really remember. There's a lot of things like that. They just should be there, but they aren't.
Lots of blank spots.
Don't really know why, but just it's the way it is.
No, like head. There's no like dents or anything on his skull that I've noticed, is there?
Okay, I mean, trust me, I felt my head for bumps.
Yeah,
and
no visual bumps.
perfectly,
Yeah, perfectly shaped.
perfectly symmetrical.
If you wanted, you could roll me a medicine check to get possibly a little insight into what's going on there, but
Sure, I'll
21.
Shit.
I will leave it up to Stanislav, or I guess Chris in this case, to fill you in on how much he thinks is appropriate there. But at very least, you are aware that there's some issue with memory going on. Chris, if you want to
Right.
elaborate on that, that is your choice.
Yeah, so like you can tell that he has full force amnesia, like doesn't remember most of his life.
Yeah.
A question like that for somebody with the talents that he has, he should be able to answer in a second, right?
Yeah.
But
Okay. So it's not. Okay. Okay, good enough. But I have no idea of the cause. Understood.
Yeah. You know, my friend, that I don't particularly remember why I was like this. I don't remember if somebody cast a spell on me or if I was bludgeoned repeatedly across the head. I couldn't tell you, but
If you were bludgeoned repeatedly across the head, it would be less shiny.
I mean, I do have a pretty thick skull.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's true.
All right, I'm drinking.
Yeah. So
you
as
do
you
whatever.
as you finish this
Absolutely.
little conversation after Bathier has
As
been
we're walking.
this, you open the door and you're met by a lively pub ingredients. You do see a number of servants, slaves wearing the collar that comes with that position, waiting tables, handling the bar. But you do see a fairly healthy looking, like well-fed, kind of fit, redheaded individual who's working the bar and has no collar about his neck. And as you enter the door, one of the servants approaches, says, it's a young woman with kind of very like darker shade of skin, black hair that's long and quite flowing, and again the collar around the neck. Hi, if you'd like, there's a seat available right over there. You can just grab a seat. We'll be right over with some food for you. Yeah.
It sounds lovely, my dear.
She just smiles, and like the smile's there, but there's like blankness in the eyes.
Yeah, of course.
Complete. And as you sit down, the redheaded
For a second,
fella,
Stanislav drops his face, makes pointed eye contact with her, and then goes to the table.
she returns it. She's smart enough to know. She recognizes when someone carries themselves like a former slave, or technically a slave. Yeah. And as you grab a seat, the redheaded fella says, "Oh, well, welcome to the Dune Rest. We really appreciate you stopping in tonight."
Liquor.
Coming right off, my friend. I'll get that to you right away. Anyone else? Anything? We've got food. The
3
servants are
ales and a
preparing.
pint, and a bottle of your finest mead as well.
All right, so 3 ales and
Whatever.
some meat. I got it covered.
Whatever's strongest, keep it coming.
Whiskey for the oddly colored gentleman there. That's an interesting shade.
Stanislav looks at his shiny golden self and just
Yeah.
Obviously, you as well.
Yeah.
But we don't see a lot of
You know what? I don't see alcohol.
You're a cranky one, all right, and we're gonna get it to you right away. Just relax.
I look at his feet.
Stanislav is just kind of
And he just starts pouring shots, pouring drinks, hands you a bottle of mead. There's a bottle of whiskey on the table. There's shots for each of you. And he brings over 3 pints, one for each. And you notice they are impeccably cold. This is the cold, most refreshing pint of beer you have ever had in your life. And as you just enjoy your little sippy, that is where we'll call the session for this evening.
Yeah.
Now this is a pint.
Yep. Having arrived in Lysia and gone through all that shit that you guys went through, we are now moving up to level 6. So,
Yeah!
level up!
I get to learn Orcish and Abyssal now.
Hell yeah, you do.
Mastermind rogues.
So go ahead and do all that in your own time. We'll figure that out.
Shall we roll our hit die live?
If you want. I mean,
I take the average every
yeah,
time.
Michael takes the average dice, so
That's
he's
fair.
not rolling. I trust you to roll on your own time. It's fine. If you want to roll now, I'm not going to stop you. But I got to wind the stream down because I have some State of Decay coming up with Danny. Chris, if you're still down to join.
I'm going to eat some food and then join you after.
Sounds good. So everyone, thank you for swinging by. Everyone who's in chat, I know a few of you stuck around for quite a while. We really appreciate it. It's a terrible roll. But we really appreciate you all stopping by. Thank you for coming to hang out for a little bit. We're going to go ahead and hit the outro screen. I'm going to end the stream and then restart it again for some different games and stuff. So we will be back next Wednesday, same time, running Axiom's Vampire the Masquerade game titled Sundown in Cowtown. We're going to be some vampires.
We will.
So that's going to be a good time. We'll figure out what channel that's getting run on, and we'll discuss that later. Thank you, everybody. We will see you next week. And thank you for joining the Cross Country Compatriots on their first official outing on my channel. Have a good day.